Managers Maru, Nix, Pryor, and Kai managed to survive the journey across District 12, the fallen wing of L Corp, and make it to the border of K Corp. As night is falling, the four of them found an abandoned apartment to stay in order to avoid the night on the back streets and getting caught up in that. It's likely that the owner of this apartment is no more, but it seems to be a comfortable place, at least. There's food inside that they're able to scavenge, and there even seems to be a working TV. If you want to begin with, what is Maru up to in the apartment, and how is he looking after the events of before with traversing through what you all thought would be a nest and turned out to be more akin to the back streets?
So Maru, he's not like really like injured or anything. He kind of made off relatively unscathed, from my memory. He's definitely stressed though. That's for sure. Because that went so much more roughly than he had hoped. There were, in his mind, a lot of avoidable conflicts that they had to deal with. But he's relieved that they found, some relative safety for the night, because he is, well aware of the dangers of night at the back streets. And I think when they got to the apartment, Maru was quite, not taken aback, that's not the right word, but he was very, he's never been in an apartment this nice before. He used to live in an apartment when he was growing up, but it was definitely not this nice. It was like one bedroom for his whole family. So seeing a relatively nice apartment, working TV, all this nice stuff, he's definitely scouring every corner of this apartment right now, being like, okay, what can we take? What can, what's good to have for now? What's good to have for tomorrow? Stuff like that. But he's kind of, it's almost a little overwhelming for him. So that's what he's up to.
Oh, and he's able to find, there's lots of canned food in here. There's some food, particularly the fruit, that has rotted in the fridge here, but most of the food, there's also a big kitchen, which I'm sure he's probably very unused to.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would imagine back at the facility they had a little kitchen. Mm-hmm. But this is like a nice like residential like apartment kitchen. Feels a lot more homey.
Yeah.
So he's definitely not used to that.
Aw. And what is Nix up to, and how does Nix look coming into this apartment?
Mix looks exhausted and tired. They look like they need some sleep. Their eyes are bloodshot. They have kind of like this sort of almost empty gaze as they like walk in. They're just not doing well at the moment.
And how does Pryor look upon entering the apartment?
Pryor surveys the area with a passive disinterest. This apartment is passable, a little filthy for his taste, but, in circumstances where he'd have to live here, it would be easy enough to turn it into somewhere more to his liking. Or the back streets, not bad. And he hasn't spent enough time in the nest to know any different. He does look for... Once he sees the raw fruit in the fridge, he has a feeling this owner has not been back in a very long time. And it both unsettles him and at least makes him feel comfortable that they're not taking shelter from anyone else tonight. Returning to the main room, Pryor immediately drops the body, clears off a table and drops the body onto it. The body of the Kurokuma clan gang leader that previously had done some things that Pryor did not think were possible.
And Kai. What does Kai do upon entering this apartment, and how does Kai look?
Kai looks pretty disheveled, and he's still coated in dry blood, a lot of it, maybe some guts, from before. He feels gross. He hopes there's a working shower. He's looking around for that, I think, is his main objective. He can appreciate the decor. It's been a while since he's seen the inside of an apartment that looked, nice like this or nicer. He's a little too scatterbrained to fully appreciate the apartment's interior. He probably absent-mindedly notices what a few other people are doing, but I think really what it is he's just looking to, at the very least, towel all of this blood off of himself.
All right, well, there is a working shower in here, so Kai would be able to use that.
God bless.
And I presume all of you have locked the door to this apartment also. Upon coming in, I imagine that would be the first instinct of many of you.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, the body is laid out on the table. It looks like it's reverted back to her normal form before whatever had happened to her.
I'd never seen anything like that before. I'm going to need a little bit of time to figure out what happened here. I don't suppose any of you are interested in helping me out.
I'll pass.
God, okay, I should probably assist him, shouldn't I? Okay, I can delay a shower by a couple minutes.
All right. It actually, as Pryor is going over it, he says, actually, manager, gonna have to get out of that habit. Kai. Perhaps you should lead the study. You're a more skilled expert of the human body than I am.
All right, yeah, no, of course. Let's dig through this woman's insides respectfully.
All right. I would like to ask if Pryor could make an intelligence science and assist Kai with an intelligence medicine.
Yes, I shall allow for that.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Just add an extra die.
Yeah.
And what's the difficulty?
I would say that the difficulty is DC 3.
All right.
Okay.
God damn! All
Wow.
right.
What the heck? I did not do very well.
Hey, you hit the
Hey.
DC.
Yeah.
You did hit the DC. I should ask, the science intelligence versus the medicine intelligence, is it trying to figure out the same thing with the body, or is it more like they're trying to figure out different things regarding it?
So, what Pryor was going to guide is, first off, the medicine check was to determine if, biologically this is a human. If the unnamed, I will just use Shion because out of character we know that was the poor deceased name. If Shion was a human, if she is actually an abnormality of some kind, if she's a mutant, anything other than a human entity. Prior is attempting to investigate the ego he retrieved and then was able to preserve inside his containment unit through his extraction method. And also her for any belongings or items on her to try and figure out if he can piece together a theory about what might have actually happened.
Got it. All right. Well, I'll start with Kai's result. This is a human you find from the body that you're inspecting now. At the time, during that fight, whatever you were up against was most definitely not fully human and appeared more like an abnormality. But here with the body in front of you, you're able to confirm that it is indeed a human's deceased body. And as for regarding the ego that Prior retrieved, you, especially with the crit, you're able to confirm that this. So I would say with the crit, you'll find out specifically what kind of ego it is. You're able to confirm this is ego. It looks to be an ego weapon that must have been extracted. It looks like she had this on her person. If you had to guess, she wasn't fighting with it, given that she had her own sword she was using in the fight before, but she had it on her. And that ego conveys certain benefits just for, having it equipped, given your own ego and that of your agents beforehand and that of your fellow department heads. It is very odd. I will let you know that there is someone who is running around with ego on them.
Who isn't L Corp affiliated at all.
Yes, exactly. And with the ego you have too, with the crit, you're able to tell it looks like it was extracted from the Night of Despair, but because she's in the branch facility that you all belong to, this doesn't look like the ego that's normally extracted from her.
An aberration, perhaps?
That could be. Could be an aberration. It could have been something with the extraction process. It could have been the person using it. It's hard to say for sure.
As they finish up their autopsy, Prior puts a hand to his chin and says, I have a theory I really don't like.
Please go on.
Well, firstly, if what you were saying is correct, Kai, this is a human. And he gestures to what's left of the dissected form of the Kurakuma clan leader before them. And if that's the case, it seems to me like perhaps a case of extreme ego corrosion. They had gear on them that matches what I know to be similar to the patterns of the non-human origins we extract from abnormalities. Why this person had ego on them is concerning, but matches our understanding that the other branches have fallen. It is entirely possible there is currently an arms race going on to scavenge ego from what remains of these facilities. However, most of their ego vanished. That's not consistent unless we consider the fact that abnormalities compress themselves once they are suppressed. I believe this individual may have created their own ego, as well as perhaps as a side effect of carrying ego from another entity. Prior looks like deeply perturbed to admit this, but says, I have theories, guesses, nothing solid to work on here. It shouldn't be possible. But that's what I know. Let's just assume this was a case of ego corrosion. And until we have other evidence, keep any further theorizing in our back pocket. Humans can't. Ego comes from abnormalities.
I will take your word for it. Until we see something else, this is just something worrying that I suppose we can keep the worst parts to ourselves.
Just another sign of the risks of being overcome by your own ego. And Prior can't help but look over towards Nyx.
Oh no.
Remember, putting on ego is wearing another entity's mind like a shell over your own. Any weakness to your mental corruption gives that mind a chance to become one with your own thoughts. And the results can be very destructive.
And I will say, Prior, you remember too, it seemed like she was talking to herself or to someone. And so it is likely, given how ego corrosion works and how ego is, if she was maybe hearing the voice of that abnormality.
The Prior, that is the only thing that makes sense at this time. He's built a theory, and he knows it's made out of cards, but until someone topples it, it's all he has to stand on right now. The most important thing that we can take from this is our ego might not be the advantage we thought it was. If it's true that other facilities have fallen and the syndicates are getting their hands on it, we might have to face other people with talents and skills that could rival our own.
We will roll with those punches as they come.
Here's when I thought the syndicate couldn't get any worse for me. Well. We're gonna have to hit the K Corp border soon. We should probably check in with the facility.
Do you all want to contact Ange?
I think that's... Nyx is the one with the tablet. I feel like that's... Ideally, yes.
Yeah,
figured-
but people bring that up, and that's fine.
Yeah, Prior sort of sits himself on the AC unit and gestures over to the TV and says, we'll give her a room with a view.
And Mix, would you like to contact her?
Yeah.
All right. The TV flickers on, and you all see Ange's figure there. She's, as usual, like on the TV, glitching in and out of existence. She has her eyes closed, a neutral expression on her face. And she will say, department heads.
How's our favorite AI assistant doing?
At that, she freezes for a moment, and just kind of looks down, almost embarrassed, and she says, I am doing well. There have not been any incidents back at the facility. Those two that you brought in, Department Head Pryor, have been settling. She kind of hesitates, and those eyes crack open for a moment, and she says, I assigned them both to the training team. They are still working with Once-In.
They're in good hands. They'll learn their lesson fast enough. To invite dishonesty is to invite destruction when it comes to working with abnormalities.
She nods her head at that and says, hopefully they do. But they are alive for now, as are the rest of our employees. She's kind of looking around too. You all notice those eyes flitting open, and she's taking in the view around her, almost looking past all of you to see the apartment area. And for a moment, the usually focused AI looks distracted.
We had to take shelter from the night to avoid the sweepers.
That makes sense. Her gaze snaps back onto all of you, and she says, Sweepers, I know them from the Indigo Noons that we've had to deal with at the facility. I do not know what they are like outside there, however. Department Head Pryor, that did not sound like a happy laugh.
Pryor keeps his fucking mouth shut. He looks over to Kai and Maru with eyes that say, I don't want to fucking talk about sweepers. That shit's bad luck. But also saying that one of them should probably explain to Ange what it's like.
Her eyes settle on Kai and Maru, like flicking back and forth between them.
I mean, it's like the sweepers back at the facility, but imagine you kill them all and then they just keep coming back. Over and over and over and over and over. It's like a 100% losing fight against them.
I see. That would be a problem if the facility were overrun with them.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they're more like a tidal wave than they are an army. A few slip through the cracks. Most of them don't even notice we exist at all.
That is good, most do not. Are you all safe inside here then, if those are out there?
They don't
She's kind
attack
of-
buildings.
Oh. That is good.
Even the sweepers know not to piss off the head.
That makes sense. And you can tell there's a little bit of fear on that expression at the mention of the head.
Right, well, I guess I'm just here to give a status update. The situation up here is worse than we thought. The wing has totally fallen. The syndicate has overrun the district. There's a turf war going on. And it seems that our suspicions about the other branches falling is correct. We've encountered enemies with ego that they are far too inexperienced to use. It's highly likely that most of L Corp has been picked clean like a dead animal baking in the sun.
That is incredibly concerning news. That the other branch facilities have been scavenged for ego, especially ego in the hands of those who do not. Actually, she stops for a moment and there's a flicker on the TV, like a glitch. I am not sure if it is worse, whether they know how to use it or don't.
Yes. But I suppose this does mean that for the good news, abnormalities aren't overrunning the city and causing the apocalypse, so... Well, I'm not sure if it's better or worse that there's still a city. And he tries to crack a smile, but it's not. His heart really isn't fully in it.
Yeah, those eyes open for a moment, and you can tell that she sees through that, and she simply says, well, I admit I feared there was a chance that they had been overrunning, so I suppose it is best that it's not the case, especially without the tip-off.
This is probably the last time we'll be able to contact you, actually. If our theories are true, and there are groups looking to scavenge the facilities, contacting you while we're inside of a nest. Manager Mix may be the best hacker I know, but I don't want to bet the lives of everyone in the facility that Mix is the best hacker there ever was. No offense, Manager.
I do agree. It is wise not to contact me or the facility while in there. It is fine. I can handle things on this end, and will be able to. The doors are locked, and, for all anyone knows, we are gone and buried like the other branches.
Let's hope no one decides to go grave robbing then. Until then. Oh, go ahead.
No, she just gives a nod at that.
Until then, though, we'll miss you, Ange. Take care of yourself. But, before we say goodbye, maybe you might want to help our wonderful manager Mix here do a little bit of corporate espionage.
Oh? Those eyes crack open fully now, and she sort of tilts her head to the side and says, are you suggesting that we hack into another one of the things?
Fryer turns to Mix and goes, I mean, you said it yourself, right? Crossing the border. I've never been through a wing, but I can't imagine it'd be easy. I mean, there's got to be something you can do, right?
I can do my best. Figure out something.
And I
Oh,
got it.
I'll need some time.
Prior steps out of the way and allows Mix and Anne to consort with one another.
Ange looks at Mix, though her eyes are closed again, and a sort of smile twists on her face, and she says, "You know, I still don't know how you slipped past my defenses back then."
I don't know either.
Mix, would you like to try to hack into K Corp system?
Yes, I would.
If it's a technology role, can Maru assist?
Yes, absolutely. If anyone else has tech and wants to exist, I'm just imagining, like, while Ange and Mix are, like, close up near there, Maru's just kind of, like, scooted up behind them.
Yeah, real.
What's the difficulty?
So, if you are trying to hack in, it's DC 4 just to get in. It's DC 8 to get in without getting out. Ange, however, is giving you 3 additional dice instead of the usual 1 additional dice.
Cool.
Because she is
Pretty
an
damn
AI. Yeah, she's pretty damn good.
Desperation dice, maybe?
Yeah, you can desperation dice.
That's just one, I think, right now.
Well, then Maru helping you out as well.
Yes, also
No,
there's
that
a-
too.
Okay.
Does anybody else have
desperation?
any help? Yeah, desperation.
I think you are all at 3 currently, and it hasn't moved up or down.
Oh, we are at 3, okay. And then, is anybody else helping?
Prior cannot help, tragically.
It's okay.
Unfortunately, I don't know any tech boosting ego gear I can hand out. So.
I don't need help.
Okay.
Oh, god damn! Holy shit!
Noted.
Ooh.
So,
that extra EXP into technology really paid
I
dividends.
just want to say,
This is far too humble.
for people who are watching, that this is what Mix is good at. We've decided
Yes.
somehow.
oh my god, Vix. Yeah, with a crit too, I will say also, you get in and out of the systems flawlessly. You have not been caught. So you are able to hack in and take control of, basically implant a little, I don't know the right word for it exactly, but kind of like into their drones, because K Corp has their drone system. You're basically able to make sure
I mean,
that
I
there's
think.
a virus. Oh,
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, upload a little virus into there so that if you need to temporarily take over their healing ampule drones, you can do so.
Cool.
It'll be something you can't do often, especially at risk of being noticed by them later, but you are able to flip that switch and do so. I would also say that with that, you are able to ensure all of you will be able to pass through the border without issue.
Yeah, presumably Mix just grabs whatever poor souls IDs that they can and basically overwrites their information with our own. And
Yes.
which will be very bad for them if they try to do anything that requires their ID, because it will be flagged. But at least for our purposes, that'll be good. We now have proper identification to get into a nest.
You do. And this will serve you for going through any border checkpoints. So you have that proper identification, you are in the system, and you have given yourself permission to take weapons through the border checkpoints.
Well, that should take care of that. We still need once we get inside, we'll actually have to print our ID cards. Just to be safe, but should be good to go through all borders from now on. We're under a quote-unquote real company sponsorship, so if anybody asks, just say the company name. I haven't decided it yet. You guys have any ideas?
Prior is laying on the couch, sort of trying to just get comfortable while all this hacking has happened. And he shrugs his shoulders and just goes, I've never been a very creative guy when it comes to naming things.
What about you, Kai? Maru?
I don't think that any name that I could come up with would fit the what's a good word? The vibe that you're going for.
Let's keep it simple then. We have armaments. We're armed. Or definitely not fixers. Could be mercenary.
Posing as a mercenary group. Ange speaks up from the TV. It seems as if it should work.
You got a name for our little mercenary group?
We could call ourselves management.
Ange does crack a smile at that and says, well, if you all slip up and refer to each other as managers, you have an excuse there.
A little generic for my tastes, but sure.
With acting like you have, I'm sure we can just change it.
All right. We are
LTD, TDL, TLR, CCR, alphabet soup.
I suppose you could say that. We are now registered. Good to go.
Thank you, Manager Mix.
We're officially a security company.
Works fine by me. I think we fit the part, play the role rather well.
Anything else you need from me?
Pryor sort of looks around and says, as far as I can tell, for both you and Ange, that was... Yes, thank you, Mix. And thank you, Ange. Couldn't have done it without you.
Well, I am here to provide my services how I can. She is kind of, you can see that the light, like, radiating off of her has gotten a bit brighter at that. She seems very, very pleased. Oh?
Yeah, Prior just nods and says, take care of yourself. We'll be back soon. And, maybe we'll take you out on the next adventure, huh?
She kind of just, like, looks away for a moment. She's like, I will prepare for them.
Prior just gives sort of a wave to the camera and nods to Mix that they can take back the tablet now.
Oh yeah,
Alright.
before she blinks off the camera, she will say, managers, do remember, just because you are in the system, I am sure that your behavior is still something that will be closely monitored, and something that even files cannot protect you from. Don't let the work that I have done. She stops and then does look, because Mix did do most of the work, and kind of through the grid, she says, and Manager Mix has done. Go to waste.
Right.
I'll keep note of that.
Sorry, I just saw that for all K Corp knows there's nothing there. What is that? Unless
Hello?
any of you... Hello?
Yes. As Prior just sort of smiles and waits for Ange to blink off the screen.
Yep, I'll say with that, she blinks off the screen, unless there's anything else any of you have to say to her. This is the last time you'll all be able to contact her until you leave K Corp.
Prior has said his goodbyes, and with a heavy heart, as she blinks off the screen, Prior will turn and say, I am gonna miss speaking to her.
I'm not. Anyway, I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna go, cook something, since we have that ability right now.
I'm gonna get some rest.
Alright, be well. Good work today. Prior just nods very stiffly.
If we're all done here, I'm going to go hit the shower. If anyone wants to go after me, I'll be quick as I can.
Sure, I'll take one afterwards.
Yep.
Alright, so Mix is heading to rest, Kai's heading to shower, and Maru, you're in the kitchen, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, do you want to, stock up on the food in there, or make anything while you're in there?
Yes. Maru definitely he's taken a gander at, not just the food, but any items, like containers, stuff like that may be good to take, that he can reasonably take with him. He can't take everything. But things that he thinks he can take with him across the border, because in his mind he's like, if we're gonna be here for a little while, if we can save some money getting certain things, like if I can stock up on water, all that stuff, he's thinking ahead like that. Now he doesn't know like if there's any with the border. If there's, I know some when you go through borders and stuff like that, there's regulations on things you can and can't take. I don't know like how much water he's allowed to take, but he'll take a decent bit in containers. And yeah, he'll cook as well. He's probably gonna cook something easy because he can't exactly use the rotted fruit, though he does consider. He's like, how rotted is it? Is there anything worth saving here? But ultimately decides that getting food poisoning right now would not be a good idea. So he decides against that and decides to make something simple that he knows how to make. Which would probably just be like a simple and easy flatbread.
Nice.
Can I assume that there's like flour and oil and salt?
Yep, they've got all those things in here.
Perfect. He will use those things to make flatbreads for everyone.
I noticed the hesitation.
Unfortunately, yeah, he was gonna make it for himself, but then he was imagining like everyone else like being annoying because they're hungry later, and he's like, I'll just make it for everyone. If I'm making it for me, I might as well make extra. But yeah, so he does. It's not like really tasty. It's literally like a 4 ingredients: flour, water, oil, salt. He can't make any toppings or anything because all of the things that he could use to make like guacamole or whatever, it's all rotted. So he can't do that. So he just decides to do something simple, basic, something to just kind of fill your stomach a little bit.
And you're able to do that.
So yeah, so he will do that, and when he's done, he will kind of awkwardly get plates for people, and bring out the flatbreads into the main room of the apartment, and kind of just. I'm imagining. I don't know if Mix is sleeping yet or whatever, or where they're even sleeping. But he'll go to each individual person wherever they might be if they're, available, and he'll either hand it to them or place it somewhere where they'll be able to find it.
Kai is showering right now, so I'm sure he will say thank you to Maru when he's not doing that.
That's real.
I don't know if Mix had fallen asleep before getting the flatbread or not.
Oh, sorry, I was not sure. I was like, I just assumed that was Maru just doing that. Mix is, probably just in bed. It may not be asleep, but their eyes are closed, so.
Okay, well, Maru will leave it on the bedside table then, and quietly leave. He doesn't want to disturb them.
Imagining Mix giggling and kicking their feet.
Yeah!
Like the door shuts and they're like...
Friar is sort of sitting on the couch. He's like very deeply lost in thought. So as soon as the flatbread is given, he just kind of takes a bite and he goes, Where'd you get this recipe, Maru?
My head. What?
Nothing. Tastes familiar. I
Uh.
guess. District cuisine, am I right?
I mean, I guess so. It's pretty bare bones, so... Anyway, just eat that. If you want more, I'm not making more, so.
Thank you.
Okay. He'll awkwardly leave so he can go into the kitchen to eat by himself. He doesn't like the almost pleasant conversation.
Not trying that again. He goes over and he knocks twice on the door of the shower, or the bathroom, and be like, "Manager Kai, are you reading yourself a book in there?"
Oh my god. Okay. I'm sorry, that's not Kai. Kai says, give me just a few minutes. Because right now, let's see, he's probably sitting on the shower floor, like in the shower, and he is pretty injured, so after washing all the caked up blood off of him, there's probably a lot of fresh red blood going down the drain as well, and so he's gonna have to wrap himself in a lot of towels to, hide that fact, and then he's wiping everything off because someone's coming in after him, so it's a lot of... He's very hurriedly, wiping off the walls because they're streaked with red, and that doesn't look great. Because someone else is coming in after him, and he says, give me 3 minutes, I will be right out.
Pryor throws himself onto the couch, grumbling the entire time, and he keeps eyeing, the pipes under the sink, I could turn off the hot water, but he decides against it, because it's just 3 minutes, he can wait 3 minutes, he can be polite, he can be nice.
Yeah, I imagine you all had your own bathrooms back at Lobotomy Corporation.
Pryor has never shared a bathroom with anyone ever in his entire life.
Oh my gosh.
God. Kai was just starting to feel like maybe a little bit relaxed. He sure isn't now. I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, Kai is very badly injured, I just realized too.
Yeah.
You and Pryor both are still physically injured from the events of the day.
Pryor has a fully dislocated shoulder that he's just not even realized he has.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, absolutely.
Would Maru having his nutritionist help heal right now? Because we're at the beginning of the...
Yes! Oh my gosh, yes, thank you for reminding me of that fact. So all of you actually can heal, I believe. Oh god, I know this.
Nutritionist would just be our stamina +1.
Yes. Thank you. All of you can heal your stamina +1. As you eat the bread.
I have 3 aggravated health damage. Is it just the non-aggravated? 3 or...
Ooh, I would say I'll roll it because so much aggravated damage gets taken. It does heal for the aggravated.
Wow, okay. I will be magically healed when that bread is done.
So basically, you would have time to treat yourself with medicine. The healing from the nutritionist would probably bring you all the way to full.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, Kai, if you want to roll intelligence medicine on yourself with a +1 from Pryor.
Absolutely, yeah. I wasn't really sure if I could do that in the shower. This is a long 3 minutes.
Oh, you know what?
You would assume this would be beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be from beforehand.
Okay, cool.
And then the shower would be you actually washing yourself off.
Okay, sick. Alright, and you said with an assistant dice from Pryor, so... Is there a difficulty here, or is it just to heal whatever?
It would be difficulty 4 because you're treating yourself and you had 3 points of aggravated damage.
Sick.
Yeah, so that would be
Okay.
that's all your egg gone. So yeah,
Yep.
you would have healed all your egg at the superficial, and then you would have healed all the superficial with the bread. So when you leave the shower, your wounds are all bandaged up and ready to go.
Yahoo.
Yep. I'll also say too, with nutritionists, I imagine it's a lot of the healing is not just from the eating, but it's also the fact that your bodies are probably very damaged after fighting, so it's a chance to sit down and have a meal and get that stamina and energy back.
I guess you could call it a light meal. Huh?
We're throwing Prior to the sweepers.
Good idea.
Oh my god. Alright, well Kai, does Kai leave the shower then?
Yeah, Kai's getting out of the shower. He's toweled off everything. I don't know how many towels he's used as a thing. There's definitely a couple left, but like if everyone's showering tonight, which I assume might be a good idea, like Prior will be fine. Mix and Maru. I don't want them to use my bloody towels. I would feel bad about that. But I had one for my hair, and I had one to wipe all the blood off the walls, and then I had one that was wrapped around most of my body, and then I had one on the floor so that I wouldn't leave wet footprints. So Kai used like 4 towels.
I'd say they probably have 8 towels total in this house.
Okay. But yeah, no, Kai is done showering. He's going to get out because he doesn't want to piss off Prior, and that's maybe his worst fear right now. And he'll leave, and he'll open up the door, and he'll be like, "It's all yours. Going ahead. Sorry for taking so long."
Prior is like, at this point, he's on the couch, and he just looks. Prior has that look that you recognize, Kai, of like when he's thinking really hard about something, so he's just doing anything else to try and like stop himself from beginning to spiral into like an obsession with the thought. So he sort of sits up, mutters a very quiet "thank you," and before he even makes it to the bathroom, he just stops with a sigh and he just goes, "I didn't expect that they'd all recognize me so quickly."
I wouldn't expect anything less of your reputation, Prior.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
that's the
sorry.
truth, isn't it? My reputation, not yours.
Well, I guess our.
I didn't expect it to be this bad.
We can only hope for the best going forward, no?
That's true, but I confess that I didn't expect a place where I had more opportunities to do the right thing, to feel this much like I have the chance to do nothing.
I think that I understand that the reputation that you have might make things more difficult. I think that you helped a lot of people. Before that woman and her cronies knew who you were, I think you can still do good. even with the way that you might be looked at by some. I think you can do more than nothing.
You're right. And if it's not going to be me, it's going to be no one. I have to be the one to do it.
Feeling. Do you feel like you have done good, or do you want to do good?
I feel like I could do more. Feel like if I don't, if I had let Mix and Maru take the wheel, we would have driven by everything and not stopped the car once. And that blood would be on my hands.
I think that you did the right thing for you, and I think that you did the right thing for the people that you helped. And though maybe it doesn't feel your contributions were appreciated by everyone around you, or they didn't feel like they were enough, I think they were everything to those people.
Prior smiles. Yeah. And that's what they have to be. No one knows like I do what it means. No one understands it as well as I do, so it has to be me. It can only be me. And I know what needs to get. Thank you, Kai. Truly and deeply thank you. I needed that. I needed a little reassurance. Sometimes my heart, it's a little weaker than I showed other people.
Kai might feel some concern about that, but I don't think that he's going to openly show it. It means a lot to me that you would express such vulnerability. I don't think that having doubt makes you weak. But I'm glad that I could help you overcome that.
I'm gonna go take that shower now.
Yeah, sorry. Go on ahead.
I should use the shampoo here. You smell really nice. And Pryor walks into the bathroom.
So how many towels does Pryor plan to use?
All the remaining ones.
God damn it.
I mean, he sees that there are unused towels, and he goes, great, I could use this one for my body, this one for my face, these for my legs. Awesome, great, all be used.
I was gonna say Kai feels really bad, but also he can't say anything because he used 4 towels.
Oh my gosh. Alright, in that case, is there anything else all of you decide to do while in the apartment for the night before, everyone goes to head to rest? I actually should ask, I know Mix went to rest early. Does Mix do anything with the bread that's by the table if they notice it there?
They will nibble on it. They can't really sleep.
Mix is struggling to sleep, and Maru, does Maru decide to take a shower? Actually, that's a good question.
I mean, he wanted to. He wanted to, yeah. He was waiting his turn.
Oh.
About twice as long as it takes Kai to use the shower, Prior walks back out and he looks at Maru and says, "Go on, it's all yours. By the way, we're out of towels."
Maru stares at Prior and says, absolutely nothing, actually.
Perfect.
He says,
Prior
actually,
nods,
no.
Prior nods at Maru.
He as right before he walks away, he goes, I'll remember, I'll remember that the next time I have to cook you all food.
He turns over his shoulder and goes, "Okay. I'll make you a towel next time." I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
Yeah. Are you stupid?
I doubt it.
I'm trying. Mindfulness. Did you need to use 4 towels?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I have 4 limbs. I don't.
You use a towel for every limb?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's really unsanitary.
No. Excuse
Like,
me?
You're letting the dirt from one limb get onto the other limb.
But water washes it off. That's what the water's for.
Yeah, and then the towel is to get rid of the water that washed it off.
Yeah, it's clean water.
Okay,
You just
whatever
use
you
it
say.
to get. That's just how water works.
Listen,
Oh, but you are dumb. Okay.
if life gives you 4 towels, you use 4 towels.
Yeah, if you're a prick.
Fine, if it bothers you that much, give me like 2 minutes. Prior will mutter and pull out his containment unit and pull out all that spider silk he keeps wrapped in there, and he goes, "That's what people these days just always
okay.
need something. And he's going to create an ego gift." Would you say this is difficulty 3 because it is not as complex as his normal gifts?
Yes, yeah, this would only be difficulty 3.
Oh my god!
It's really funny. You all spend a point of willpower. It's funny. Prior actually does care a little bit, even though he's pretending not to. There we go. Prior weaves the bundle of abnormality webs together, and then tosses Maru a very sticky towel that just will absolutely suck the water out of anything it touches.
Maru catches it and kind of grimace. Well, you can barely tell, but you can kind of see from the part of the face you can see of him. He does grimace a little at how sticky it is.
And this will be extra clean. I was saving it for if I got filthy, but I suppose good compatriotship means that if I used all the towels, you can have this one.
Okay. Maru refuses to say thank you. And he walks away so he can go take a shower.
Yeah, the second the door closes, he goes, "You're welcome. You're welcome." God, kids. Fucking kids. No manners. No respect. And Prior will go out to find somewhere to sleep.
You're able to find a different room than the one Nyx has. It looks like there are, I would say...
You know what? Actually, Prior will take the couch. He's comfortable
Aw.
there.
Alright, I'd say, yeah, there's probably 2 bedrooms in this apartment, so Prior takes the couch, Nyx has one of the bedrooms.
Isn't Maru also going to be on the couch?
I mean, Maru was
Look-
planning on keeping watch, but
Looking out the window.
I mean, Pryor will pass out very quickly.
Aww.
and start snoring.
Oh my god.
Maru coming out of the shower and Pryor's on the couch snoring.
God. Yeah. Yeah, when Maru gets out, because he takes a pretty quick shower. When he gets out of the shower and all that, he's already obviously fully changed, all that stuff. He was planning on just going and keeping watch for the night, and then he sees Pryor on the couch, and he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
You could roll him off the couch. It'd be very easy.
Oh my god. You know what? Yeah. Yeah, no, Maru will, because he was thinking, he's like, well, I could just go sit in the corner. I'm really just keeping watch for the door. But then he hears the snoring, and his eye twitches multiple times. And he's like, yeah, we're not doing this. If Mr. Pryor wants his like extreme comfort, whatever, he can go sleep in one of the other rooms. And he will go over to try and push Pryor off the couch because he had mentally already claimed the couch.
There's a thud followed by a
I was gonna sleep here tonight.
Why is it so loud?
I said I'm gonna sleep here tonight, so you should go to the other room.
What?
I said I'm sleeping here tonight.
One more time.
I am sleeping here tonight. You can leave.
Okay, I think you said I could leave.
Yes, you can't. And actually, no, you will leave.
Got
are
it.
leaving.
Pryor's clearly half out of it, and he starts heading for the door to the apartment.
No, not out. Oh my god. Mer will take a few steps forward and kind of grab at his arm and be like, not the apartment. Go to the other bedroom.
Right. Yeah, thanks. Hi. And he sort of pats Maru twice on the shoulder and grabbing his head, and it's very clear Pryor has either a massive headache, he's clearly not fully there behind the eyes for a moment, and he just kind of stumbled off towards the bedroom.
Maru was quite stiff when he felt the pat on his shoulder and just kind of watches him go, and then once Pryor's gone, he just kind of lets out a little sigh of relief and sits himself down on the couch and stares at the blank TV because he's resigned himself to staying up for as much time as he can.
What do you think are the odds that Pryor went to Mix's room?
Oh my god. Yeah, which room does Pryor stumble into?
Can we flip a coin?
You know what? Let me roll a D10. If it's a failure, you stumble into Mix's room.
Perfect. All right.
Alright, well, it's Mix's room.
All right. As Mix is sort of heading, as Mix is having a very tough time, the door opens. Pryor stumbles in. You can see he's clearly super out of it. And he grabs his head and he just goes, "There's a bed," and he just sort of collapses face first on the other side of the bed as Mix, not even just on top of the covers, and immediately begins snoring again.
How does Mix react to this?
Mix just stares. And just goes back to nibbling their bread.
Do you hear it? Do you hear it? I hear it. Oh, it's singing.
Mix slowly crawls out drags Pryor into the bed, covers him with blankets, and then sits down on the floor, just nibbles their bread.
So fucking. Can Kai talk to Maru?
Yeah, Kai can talk to Maru. You two are in the main room, I presume, right now, while
Okay, so
Pryor is mumbling in his sleep.
I just
and
watched.
makes-
Maru.
Yeah, I
Oh my
imagine
God.
Kai just saw all of that happen.
Oh my god, I'm a bad friend.
Or Kai could have been out of the room if it makes more sense for Kai to come back in, and you see that.
I imagine Kai probably would go back into the main room just in time to, like, for Pryor to have, like, vanished into the other room.
Yeah.
Alright,
You know, actually, it makes sense that Kai came out to investigate the sound of Pryor dropping onto the floor.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I have to go. I have to thank Maru now for his endless patience. You said he's sitting on the couch staring at the blank TV.
Yes.
Kai's gonna walk over to the couch and not like sit down, but kind of like, nod his head, gesturing, asking if he can, and say like, "Hey Maru, can I talk to you?"
Maru will look over at Kai, and after a second will kind of just shrug and say, if you want to, yeah.
Thanks. Kai will sit next to Maru, and he'll probably start off by saying, I thank you for being so kind just then when you didn't have to be, and I didn't mean to use 4 towels.
No, you're fine. You can use 4 towels. You were covered in blood.
I will try to use not that many towels the next time I'm covered in blood.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't. I wanted to apologize for earlier. What I
Earlier.
said to you. Back in the truck when I thanked you for doing what I felt was right for the group or for Pryor. I realized that was stupid to say that to you. I disregarded your feelings and your wants, and I put my own priorities ahead of yours. Even though you've been an indispensable ally, and I do consider you someone that I care about, like a friend.
Okay.
Sorry. So, I want to do what I can to make you feel valued. And I want to know your thoughts, and I want you to know that the people around you think that they matter, or that I think they matter. So where do you think that we should go? Once we cross the border, now that we're here, you always seem to have a plan in moments of crisis. You're always so well prepared.
No, Maru will consider those words. He seems like that end part went over with him better than the initial part. And he kind of lightly tilts his head from side to side as he thinks, almost absent-mindedly doing it, and then he goes, I mean, I think it'd be good for us to figure out how we're going to be getting around. I doubt we can keep this stolen truck with us. It's kind of not ideal, honestly, for traveling. So we should figure that out. I also think it'd be good to... There were some things here, the cans and whatnot, that are good, but there are just some things that aren't here that we should get if we're going to be out here for a while. Because we're not always going to be going to a nest, and we don't know what's in store in the other districts. So I at least think it would be the smartest thing for us to get non-perishables, more water, any other items that we might need to help make traveling long-term an actual manageable thing. Because, traveling's not just about driving around, picking fights, and then getting to our destination. We won't last if that's our only thought in our mind when we're traveling.
You are absolutely right. Thank you so much for being so pragmatic and thinking ahead so well. I almost forgot to mention. So sorry. I had your flatbread. It was good. I liked it. I liked the salt.
Oh, thanks.
It was nice. It was nice to have a meal, sort of like a warm snack to eat.
Yeah, it was. There wasn't really much I could do in the way of toppings and whatnot, so I just kind of used what was there.
I thought it was good, toppings or no. If us getting more food means maybe having more Maru cooking in the future, if that's okay with you, then that is something that I will go out of my way to try and procure ingredients for.
Well, I don't mind. If I'm already cooking for myself, I might as well just make some more for the rest of you. Because I mean, it'd be bad for me if you guys all starve to death. So.
You're sweet.
I wasn't
That's
trying
sweet
to
of you.
be, but thanks.
You are so kind. Thank you, Maru, for your endless generosity.
You're welcome.
Kai's in his head like, you're so good at this. You're so good at socializing and being a person. I will make sure that the others know that we are going to do that. We are going to look for supplies as we go, because that is a very smart idea. Thank you for talking to me, and I'm sorry again for before.
I mean, I wasn't mad at you, so...
What?
I wasn't mad at you.
Oh.
No, I mean, I was annoyed, but not at you, at Mr. Pryor. You were just... I don't know. I don't particularly like the fact that you are inclined to choose him over others. It looked like he was about to say me, but then stopped himself. And then he goes, but I can understand that it would make more sense for you to do that. I'm not mad at you for doing what's in your nature, because I do what's in my nature.
Kai seems a bit flustered about that. I will try my best to overcome that nature that you talk about, and to prioritize you as well, to show you that I care about you and what you think and feel.
Okay.
Kai doesn't know quite what to think. So he's overall net positive. But talking to Maru is kind of nerve-wracking. So he's going to get up and I don't know that he knows that the bedrooms aren't both occupied right now. So I don't know where he's going to hole himself up, but he's getting out of the living room.
Which, is he trying to find the bedroom that's not occupied? Is he trying to find Pryor? Where is he trying to go?
Kai knows better than to share a bedroom with Pryor. Not because he doesn't want to, but because Pryor likes to, have his own space. Typically, I think he will listen to the doors, and whichever one he hears really loud snoring out of, he'll go to the other one.
I imagine you can hear Pryor through the door.
He's not subtle.
Yeah, so when he hears like the he's gonna go to the room that doesn't have that sound coming from it. And I don't think Kai's a very quick sleeper, and also, especially after that nerve-wracking conversation, he'll probably lay near the foot of the bed and kind of make a nest around him with the blankets that exist and curl up in fetal position and think for a couple of hours.
Aww. Alright, so Kai's curled up in one of the beds trying to fall asleep. Pryor is snoring, Mix is on the floor, and Maru, you are in the main room.
Yes.
Move you onto the couch. There we go. All right. And are you sitting up keeping watch, I believe you said, right?
Yes.
So you can see that it has grown dark at this hour. There's some lights, but it looks like most of them are, flickering out or have broken. It's pretty dark outside. You see the occasional people on the street running around, the typical sights you'd see on the back streets, despite being in what's supposed to be a nest. the sights of people fighting over food, fighting over who knows what other feuds they might have. And while you're looking out the window and keeping watch, you feel this presence behind you.
Maru will instinctively stiffen up a bit, because when he can tell there's something behind him, when he's trying to keep watch, his initial instinctive reaction is to tense up. But because he's been keeping a decent eye on the door, he's like, there's no way there was someone hiding here the whole time. He checked every room before settling in. He'll turn his head to see what could be behind him.
You see those whiffs of smoke behind you that you're used to seeing as Freischütz is sort of partly materialized. It's one of those things where you're used to how it is, and you remember earlier when you called upon Freischütz, the portal forming, the gun, the bullet firing, and those whiffs of smoke. But right now it seems like he's fully manifested for a moment and is kind of just looming over you.
Maru's definitely a little, just a tad spooked by it, and shuffles a little backwards on the couch so he's not craning his head up so much. But after his initial surprise wears off, he'll kind of he'll lift up his Justitia gift and tilt his head a little and just go, Freischütz? What are you doing here?
It doesn't speak. You can see those eyes are glowing, and it has the gun in one hand, and in the other hand it has one of the bullets. You're not quite sure just what it wants, but it seems to have this time sought you out.
Maru, he has this feeling like he should be cautious right now, because this has never really happened before. But he also kind of hates himself a little for, after recovering from his surprise, feeling kind of relieved, because he hates that he feels relieved to see Der Freischütz of all things. But he clears his throat and he goes, are you mad that I left the facility?
It doesn't say anything in response, but you sort of feel a sharp jolt around that body, that familiar sign of black damage. I won't make you take any damage from it because it's not enough to be, clearly purposefully not in this moment trying to hurt you, but you can feel that spark of what you'd expect to be feeling back in the containment unit when you've worked on him before.
Yeah, no, that'll Bear will hiss a little bit because he's like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so you're mad, just a bit. Listen, I told you that it wasn't really my choice. I regret leaving, I guess you could say. I'm too easily swayed by things. don't know. I don't know why I'm like this, but he clearly is like definitely feeling a little intimidated. Cause the situation, and he looks up at Der Freischütz and says, I did appreciate you helping me out earlier. That was actually, it's kind of good. I don't know if you were paying attention to the look on their faces, but they were totally taken aback. They definitely didn't see that one coming. I know you don't really care for, like, what's the word, pleasantries, but figured I should say thank you anyway, because that is our deal. As long as you keep showing up, I'll keep calling for you. So thank you.
The oppressiveness of its presence seems to relax a bit at that.
That's good. Maru also relaxes at that. And he glances outside again to just kind of just did not have to stare at Der Freischütz the whole time. And he sighs and goes, it's only been a day, but it's weird being away from the facility. And then he'll kind of side-eye Der Freischütz and go, and you too. I don't know if it's like a weird dependency or something, but whatever it is, it's pretty lonely. Some kind of, I don't know if I'm scared or no, I'm sorry. No, I'm not doing this. That's stupid. I'm not. No, you don't care about that. No. Listen, oh my god. I go around telling people like manager mix not to get so caught up with corrosion, and here I am hoping for you to, I don't know, whisk me away from this, but that's stupid for thinking that. But I am grateful to see you. I don't know.
Der Freischütz doesn't speak when you're speaking, but you've worked with it enough also to know when it's in a good mood. And at that mention of, feeling scared almost and at wanting to be whisked away, it's almost like it has gotten lighter, its presence to be in and to deal with. As if the marksman is pleased at the moment.
Yeah, and unfortunately that does make Maru feel better. He'll relax a little more into the whatever, like the pillow on the couch. And he'll just kind of take a moment to just look at Der Freischütz and say, I don't know how long we'll be gone for, but I don't know, I'm just keep your end of the deal, okay? I'm gonna keep mine. I'm gonna keep calling for you, okay? I'll give you what you want. So, I hope you can do the same. Right?
It does not say anything in confirmation, but you can see the bullet in its hand seems to almost vibrate. As in giving a yes. It knows the deal that you have made with it. And every time you've called upon it, it has answered.
That is true. honestly, Maru, despite himself, will kind of smile at that. And he'll kind of lean his head against the back of the couch and look up at Freischütz and say, it's kind of weird how good of a team we can make. I wonder. Then he'll stop himself and shake his head and go, no, never mind. Thank you though for coming to say hi, I guess. I appreciated the familiarity.
The bullet continues to just hum in its hand. And its presence is one that is very familiar to you. Most would not call Freischütz's presence relaxing. But for Maru, especially when it seems that Freischütz is in a good mood, I imagine it's almost as such.
Yeah. I feel like at that, Maru, he can kind of feel his eyes drooping a little bit, and he'll almost shyly kind of be like, I don't really like sleeping around the others. I was supposed to keep watch. But it's probably not good for me to have no sleep. I don't know how long you're able to stay like this for, but it'd be nice if you could just kind of watch out for me just for a bit while I take a quick rest. If you can.
It gives a slight nod of those wisps.
Well, Maru will unfortunately smile yet again. And kind of, he doesn't like lay down because he doesn't really. He usually when he sleeps he's like curled up in a corner, so he'll be in the corner of the couch, kind of curled up, but he'll probably grab the little throw pillow and use it and like kind of put it up against kind of the back of the couch so we can get a little bit more of a cushion. And before he decides to close his eyes, he'll just kind of give a little nod back at Freischütz and then let his eyes shut.
After his eyes shut, Freischütz places the one hand, like tucks the bullet into the coat, places the one hand on Maru's head, and then vanishes.
Yeah, no, Maru definitely was not asleep when that happened. So, but just the fact that Freischütz stayed for a little bit makes him feel like, well, if something were to happen, he'd just come back. So he's able to fall into a light sleep.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to get Freischütz off the screen. There we go. All right. And Mix. Has Mix been able to fall asleep at all? Or has Mix been...
I would say no, they have not.
Alright. Well, Mix, you've probably been listening to Pryor's snoring and mumbling for the past while. And as you're awake, you see these butterflies, this trail of white butterflies starting to flit around you.
I think Mix finally looks up and stares at the butterflies.
They're almost beckoning you to come forward. You see there's like a trail of them leading out the door.
What do you want me to do?
The only answer is the fluttering of their wings.
Mix finally just pushes himself off of the floor and stands up. And they slowly step out the door and follow the trail.
You follow the trail of the butterflies out of the room. As you go past the entrance room area, you can see Maru on the couch, looking out the window. Is Maru still awake at this point?
I think Maru, because I would imagine this has been a little while after. Maru's probably like, he's in a light, quote-unquote, sleep, but it's the kind of sleep where he's easily disturbed. Like, he would wake up to the sound of the door.
Butterflies are gathered around the front door. Next, you proceed forward.
Mix pauses for a bit. And then they slowly walk until they reach the door and begin to turn the handle.
At the first click of the door as the handle turns, Meru's eyes snap open, and he immediately sits up, reaching for the magic bullet gun. But when he turns his head and just sees it's, instead of someone coming into the apartment, it's Mix trying to step out, he relaxes again. And even though he's a bit confused, he understands that it can be kind of stuffy, being in like a room or whatever. So he figures that Mix is just stepping out to get some fresh air. But so as he settles back into his little curled up position on the couch, he'll just murmur like, "Don't be out too long."
Mix just silently nods and steps out.
And Mix, you step out. Into the area outside. Mix, you've never been on the back streets at night. And you see that at this point, night has already passed. It's the very, very beginnings of the sun are starting to rise. The streets are completely clean. Before you remembered, while you were passing by and looking out the window, there were plenty of corpses in the streets. There are no bodies in this area, despite the fact that you know very well there were bodies when you passed by earlier. It's almost like it's been swept clean. But you do see a single person badly injured who's kind of curled up in an alley, shaking. And when they see you, They reach out to you. And they say, the night, it just barely ended before they got me. I need help, please.
Oh, I see butterflies.
Yes, there are butterflies clustered around this person who is bleeding out, who one of their limbs has been chopped off, cleaved through, almost like something was attacking them, and then backed off before finishing them.
Mix stares for a moment, and then their face changes. Huh. I'm sorry. Here, let me help you. And Mix starts to rush over to the person, slides down onto their knees and grabs the person. I'm sorry. It hurts horribly, doesn't it? I can help you. Sorry. I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help. And they reach to their side.
And Nix, you almost feel as you do, a presence behind you, and the fluttering of wings. The next day, in the apartment, the sun's coming through the window. Maru, I know, is keeping guard throughout the night. Mix returned at some point. I don't know how late of a sleeper everyone is or how early everyone wakes up in the morning.
Prior is an early riser, but I do not know if he is as early as Maru is.
Maru's probably up the second it starts getting a little light out. He's also on his internal clock is also meant for getting up at like 4 a.m. Because I would imagine there are days they have to start work at the facility quite early. But he was barely sleeping anyway, so the second there's any change in the environment, he's awake. And after a certain point, he's like, all right, I've gotten enough sleep, and he's just up. He honestly probably decides he's gonna make himself one more quick meal before it's time to head out, because he's up early enough, he might as well. Because, he's not sure what's gonna happen at crossing the border. He would like to use the opportunity to have a stove while he can.
Alright. Are you making a meal for everyone or just yourself?
Yeah, he'll make it for everyone. Sure. Trying to think of what he would make. He could always make more flatbread, but honestly, there's some canned stuff. So he'll probably I would imagine there could be I don't know, some canned fruit, because the canned fruit will still be good.
Yeah, canned fruit would still be good.
Yeah, and he'll probably make using the canned fruit, just kind of have a little, I guess, fruit salad of sorts. And he will make more flatbread, because there's really not much else he can make right now that won't take too long. So that's what he's got right now.
And you're able to make those. I imagine the smell probably wakes everyone up if they haven't already woken up from the natural time, you know.
Yeah, Kai will wake up to the smell of food happening.
Pryor was already up and getting dressed when the smell of food hits him, and he'll wander back out into the main room, looking much more composed than he did last night.
They woke up, not necessarily the smell of food, they just had woken up naturally. I think they get up early. You know? At this point, they have to.
Yeah, Kai would have slept in if there wasn't the smell of food that permeated through the apartment. But he smells good cooking, and he's like, oh my god, wait! Like once he wakes up, he's like, oh my god, wait! That means Maru cooked for us again. Yippee! I get to glaze him more. And you know he'll get up. He probably honestly didn't. He probably went to sleep in his clothes. After he showered, he probably put them back on and then passed out. You know, I mean, was up for a while, but like went to bed. So he's probably already dressed, and he's probably just gonna go straight out into wherever the chef decides to serve us. Probably looking a bit disheveled because he just woke up and didn't think like, oh, I should look in a mirror.
Well, Maru's he's in the kitchen. He's currently putting granola on this fruit salad. And when he sees Kai come in, he kind of just gives him like a quick once over because Kai looks quite disheveled. But he doesn't comment on it because why would he? And he just says, morning, hungry.
Yeah. What are you making?
Well, there wasn't really much to make. I'm trying to save most of it, but if you don't mind more flatbread, I have that. But I found some canned fruit that I figured might as well. That and some granola.
You're so kind.
Thank you. I was gonna put it into bowls for everyone and then keep the rest for myself. Actually, if you don't mind, can you grab some bowls? Apparently there's I took a look, and those cupboards over there on the other side of the kitchen have bowls and plates. So if you grab some small plates and bowls, that would be helpful.
Absolutely. Yes, of course.
Thank you.
And Kai will go make himself useful. He won't ask because that would be rude, but he does wonder if it's more of a thing of less like, oh, could you be helpful, and more, oh, well, you're taller than me, so could you reach?
No comment.
But he's not gonna say that.
Yeah.
Kai will grab the plates first and set them out. I want to say on the coffee table, or do we have a dining room?
I don't know. Do we have? Is it like a kitchen dining room mix kind of
Yeah,
thing?
It's a mix of them. It's like a kitchen dining room mix.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kai will first put the plates out on the table, and then he will grab 4 bowls and put them on top of the plates. And he did briefly do catering, so he might kind of make things look nice. Like he'll put the spoon on a little napkin if we've got napkins or paper towels or something like that. Just for decorum. To make things look nice and pretty. And he'll say, "All right, I set everything up for us to eat. Thank you so much for cooking again."
Well, we're gonna need the energy, so I don't really think I want to find out what you all are like when you're starved for food. So, but this is all just about done. So, he'll lean over and turn the stovetop off because he's responsible. And he'll bring the I guess like there's like a bigger bowl of like the fruit salad and the a bigger plate that has all the flatbread on it. And he will evenly distribute it among 3 of the 4 plates and bowls. And then the one that is for himself, he just kind of keeps the rest of it.
Wow.
And he goes, the rest can eat whenever they're up, whenever they want to come in. I don't really care.
Kai doesn't mind if Maru starts eating first, but he's actually the type to wait for other people to start their food. So he'll eat whenever Mix and Pryor come in or sit down.
Pryor does come in afterwards. He just cracks his neck a couple times, rolls his shoulders. A good night's rest did me some good, and he'll sit down next to Kai. Didn't I fall asleep in the living room?
Unfortunately. I kicked you out.
That sounds about right.
It was my space, so...
Fair play, you called dibs.
I did. Anyway, eat that if you want.
Thank you. And he puts his hands together in thanks, and then does not start eating because everyone is not seated yet.
Maru is definitely eating. He's like staring at them awkwardly, like, what? Like, is there a problem?
Do you think Pryor says grace?
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, while they wait for Mix, Maru's definitely eating. Noticeably kind of messily. Like he is chowing down on his larger portion of food.
Yeah, Mix finally enters the little dining room, and they say, "Good morning." Oh, didn't think we were gonna have breakfast.
Yes, bowls for you.
Gotcha. Oh, thank you. Who?
I cooked.
Oh.
Pryor actually laughs, is like, did you really think even any of us would, other than Maru?
Maybe Kai.
Kai got the plates, so he helped.
You'll have to let me help you out sometime. I actually know a little bit about cooking.
Maru narrows his eyes, which actually noticeably he's not wearing his mask or justicia. He kind of forgot to put it back on. So he narrows his eyes because he's kind of used to showing his expressions, thinking no one can see him. So he's very obvious that he's suddenly suspicious, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, didn't know you knew how to cook."
Well, I'm a nestborn, but well, I was always told, don't shirk work.
I bet. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, surprisingly. I'm all good to go, and we can, now that we're able to hit the nest, hopefully today, we'll be able to get on to the next leg of our journey. Got a lot. There's a lot that we have to do today, and better start sooner rather than later, so once we're wrapping up with breakfast, we can head out.
Yeah.
Thank you for the food, though. It's nice.
You're welcome.
So then, I've been thinking about this actually. We should probably discuss transportation once we can get to the nest. I have an idea for how we should move around for the rest of our journey. if you guys would be willing to hear me out.
Yeah. What's your idea?
Well, and Mix kind of leans back in their chair. I will say this entire time Mix has been acting like remarkably composed and like no longer brooding and sulking like they were earlier. Like it is a like radical like bam change like that. They seem like really normal now. But yeah, Mix continues and says, well, I figured we don't want to be legging the entire journey on foot, and the truck we have is nice. Well, not really.
It sucks.
We're gonna need some sort of proper living arrangements, especially since I doubt we're gonna really want to spend all our funds on living in different places. Plus, we don't know where we're gonna stay, issues of security, all that. It's better to have a little mobile bunker. So, I talked with Ange yesterday, and a little bit this morning. I've got some funds I managed to allocate, and I'm looking to, once we get in there, we can go ahead and get ourselves an RV. It's not much, but, you know, it'll be a nice little mobile fortress.
An RV? I don't think I've ever seen one of those before.
It's a small room with wheels. We can get one with a bed for each of us. It won't be big and it won't be nice. At least it won't be super extravagant. But it'll work.
Maru's listening as he's chomping down on his food, and his eyes continue to narrow more and more as the more he listens.
You're staring?
Yeah. Good for noticing.
A reason?
No.
I mean, I know I have a pretty face, but geez. Anyways, what about you two? Kai? Friar? You okay with that?
I think it makes the most sense logistically. I don't think we'd have the money nor the luck to find a location like this everywhere we go. It only makes sense that we'll have to make a home for ourselves on the road. And I certainly don't want to be caught in a tent.
Cool.
If everyone else is okay with it, then I'm okay with it.
It'll be nice. I mean, bunk beds don't make for the most perfect living arrangement, but we'll at least have a small little place. We can even put up curtains, give ourselves a tiny little room. Plus kitchen. Hopefully, we'll get one with a portable bathroom.
How much storage space is in an RV?
Pretty decent amount. We should be able to carry at least a week's worth of supplies, probably 2 weeks.
Okay. So when we cross the border, we should do that first. Before we get more supplies.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to be carrying all that around.
Well, we'll figure it out when we get there. Obviously, I'm sure we'll be frugal, but let's not completely cheap out.
We're gonna do what we have to do.
No, I get that. Just cheap out too much and we get stuff that's poor quality, and at that point, it's not worth the amount we're paying for it.
Well, I guess we will figure that out later.
I trust you. I trust you.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Have a good head.
Let's finish our
Oh.
breakfast.
Come on. You have a good head, and besides, you cook, so I already trust you with our food more than everybody else here.
I cook, so you should eat the food.
I am. And thank you. And thank you for the bread yesterday.
You're welcome.
Like I said, you gotta let me in the kitchen sometime.
We'll see about that.
I don't even Mix sat down and started talking immediately. I think Kai might be staring at his food with the most intensity you've seen him have in his eyes since like he was ripping someone's organs out. Because he's hungry, he wants that cookie so bad.
Prior does notice this and does have the social etiquette to say, all right, let's dig in.
We were already digging in.
Yeah, you guys were waiting?
Yeah, why?
It was really good.
Thank you, Kai, for showing proper etiquette.
Thank you, Kai.
Okay, you don't have to go that far. Mix can't help but chuckle.
Kai's not gonna, for the first time, not respond to like Prior saying something positive to him. And he's just gonna start eating quietly.
So, we should probably go over our goals again before we get into the nest. So, Mr. Leader, would you like to take the stage?
Thank you. Yes. Prior pulls out a series of paper from his satchel bag, and as he lays it down, he says, our objectives in K Corp are as follows. 1. As the leading industry on both prosthetics and on biohealing, if anyone is going to have any leads on robotic technology that might be able to assist our lovely AI Ange, it will be K Corp. Secondary objective, I believe, he looks over across the table. Maru, you said you knew of a specific place you wanted to visit that might meet both those objectives?
Oh, Maru had almost kind of forgotten for a moment about that, and he goes, yeah, no, there's a place that I remember hearing about. It's called, Cowl. I think it's at least a lead, I guess, on a place that could be helpful. They deal a lot in prosthetics and other body enhancements like that.
Mr. DM, I have a question. Sorry,
Yes.
Prior.
No, go ahead.
Would Mix know about, I'm sorry, I always mispronounce it, Cowl?
Mix would have heard of Cowl.
Can I roll?
Can you roll to see
maybe.
what you know about it?
Yeah.
Yes, honestly, all of you may roll to see what you know about this place. If you want to make I think it would probably be in... You know what? I would say either int academics or int streetwise.
All right. And what's the difficulty?
It's scaling, so the higher you get, the more information you have. Now, keep in mind, all of your information is outdated, as this is... You wouldn't have learned anything about Cowl before the time you joined.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to use my inquisitive here. I got some desperation dice, please.
I mean, oh boy, yeah.
What's the I'm sorry, what's the DC on this?
It's just how many scaling.
Set difficulty at 1, and just it's how many above the margin you get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly what I knew was gonna happen.
No.
Oh my god.
I spend a willpower. It's okay. I'm not gonna distort.
Yes, but that's gonna raise the danger for everyone.
Look, it's fine.
No.
How many am I re-rolling? Just 2?
You
Just
can't
one.
re-roll danger dice, so yeah, you.
Yeah, no,
re-roll
you're
one.
real. Yay! We're so back.
So,
Wait, can I ask a quick question?
yes.
Did you? I know Maru already knows about Cowl. Did you want me to still roll?
I will say if you want extra information, you can roll. Because
Sure.
Maru already
Right.
knows about Cowl, but
Yeah. So what was it again? What was the roll?
int streetwise or int academics.
Well, definitely not.
I
academic.
did get 8 successes, so
9,
I think-
actually.
9
9.
actually.
we're so back.
I should ask. Mix is choosing to succeed, so all of your danger goes up to danger 4.
Great.
Yeah,
Cool.
I love you guys.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
This is all set up for you guys when you guys get to beat people up.
When we get to beat people up.
Yeah.
So Kai, you
I don't know.
don't know anything about Cowl.
Yeah.
You haven't even heard the name, I'll say, because you got 0. You have
Yeah.
no clue where they're all talking about. Prior, you know of Cowl, you know that it is in K Corp, and you know that it has to do with prosthetics, and that is about the extent of your knowledge. I'd say you probably don't know anything beyond that, it being a holy site of prosthetics. Maru, with your free total, you know a little bit more than Prior. So everything that he knows, you also know that in that little village, it's a trend to fully replace one's outdated body parts with prosthetics. You imagine that the prosthetics they have there are much better than the kind that you were given. But you also know is a lot more expensive. Mix. With the numbers that you got, which was a 9.
My family is personal friends with everybody there. We have a holiday resort over there.
Yeah.
I am personal friends with Sinclair. No, I'm kidding.
No. No, I would say that with the result you got, your family, given their prestige, did some business in Cowl in the past. So you know everything everyone else knows. You know that it is a little village within a small town within K Corp's nest. You know that it's surrounded by woodlands and that it's considered very scenic, that area. And you also know that there are some very wealthy families that your family had ties to in that village. You don't know currently how those families are doing or the state of the town because it has been quite some time since you've been outside the facility and considering what happened to your own family. But last you checked, Cowl was thriving. They were very much known for their prosthetics expertise and business was good. With the 9, I will give you though, you do know that L Corp has an Inquisition, and they probably are not fond of the fact that Cowl exists.
Gotcha. I mean, Mix
But
will
you-
relay all the information that they know then.
Awesome. And the last thing I'll say is you also know, though, that considering its location, as strong as a wing is, most wings wouldn't be so foolish as to go marching into the nest of another wing.
Gotcha.
All right, and you can all do that with that information what you will.
Then, yeah, like I said, Mix will relay all this information so
Prior
that we're all good
nods
to
his
go.
head. Well, that gives us everything we need then. We have the secondary objective, obviously, of finding enough supplies to keep the facility running. But our primary goal at this time is to chase down this lead. Hopefully, along the way, we'll find the source of what we need. K Corp is capable of many, many things. Rumor even has it that they've done considerable work in order to supply food to many other areas of the city. Could be that all of our problems begin and end in one place. If we are so lucky.
Mr. Pryor?
Yes, Kai.
Maru had the bright idea that maybe we should scout out places to scavenge, food and supplies for just us to survive on as well. We can't fight if we're all starving to death. I think that was
true.
a bright idea.
The army does move on its stomach.
And
But-
he's been so generous as to cook for us so far.
We are no longer going to be in the back streets. We will be in a nest. Scavenging, as far as I am aware, isn't the same as it is out here. Is it, Manager Mix?
Nope. If you try to do anything like that in a nest, they're gonna look at you weird, and you'll probably be arrested for, rummaging around trash
And
and
then
disturbing public parks.
buying food? Non-perishables?
Probably what we'll have to do. And it feels weird, but I suppose trade and commerce is the blood and guts of the nest.
It's easy enough, and we'll go to cheaper places just so that we don't have to spend too much money.
I think Maru actually has some money on him from, some of the people we had encounters with recently. Would you be willing to use some of that to get our food? I feel like you might want to be in charge of, procuring or shopping, just, because you know what you want to make, you know what's good.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
No offense, but you don't know where to go, places to buy food, and how to do it, so that'd be best.
I mean,
we don't wanna
I've bought things before.
we don't want to attract any eyes.
Maru bites back comment.
Besides, it'll be good. We can all pull our resources together. We had to make some sort of money while we were over in the facility, so we can all add it to a shared little pool that we can use to buy supplies and the like. You guys did manage to bring your money, right?
I did not forget, no.
Good.
Left with all the on I had on me.
Probably has an amount of money. It's an amount. It exists. It's there.
He has a savings account.
He has a savings account. Yeah, exactly.
I believe, if I remember right, you all have at least one temporary dot of resources.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Some of you may
believe-
have more money. Oh,
I believe we were provided 2 dots of temporary resources that do not refresh.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Each of you have 2 temporary resources that do not refresh. Maru has an additional 1 temporary resources from the bodies that he looted.
I remember I did invest in resources. I don't know how much I did actually invest. I forgot how much.
2 dots, it looks like.
Was that with the temporary ones, or was that without? Because I didn't know we had 2 temporary ones.
Well, that would be your permanent dots, and you'd have 2 temporary dots.
Okay.
Resources.
All right, we're so back. I'm rich, not forever, but that's how I buy the RV. So it makes sense.
Yes.
Yes. Do note. Yeah. Do note that resource dots are not multiplicative. So you have 2 temporary resource dots and 2 permanent resource dots.
Yeah.
You do not have 4 dots of resources.
No. Yeah.
Because that would make you a multimillionaire.
No. No, those days are long gone. That the mixed family fortune does not exist anymore. It would be a lot easier if it did.
But yes, Fryer looks around and says, Cowl is our first hit. We go there, we learn what we can about prosthesis, we maybe get some clues about robotics, maybe we get on the trail of someone who might know more about what we need to know. But regardless, it's a nest, so the danger we'll encounter will probably be more political than it will physical. And it'll be on you, Manager Kai, and you, Manager Mix, to lead the way if that happens. Your generous personalities and uniquely charismatic approach will be useful.
I will try my best to keep us out of trouble. Mix, I trust that your much longer term nest experience and expertise will be a major guiding factor in our social interactions.
Yeah. I hope so.
All right.
Cool.
With that, I guess do you all want to head to the K Corp border?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
You're...
All right. Here we go. So, you all fairly easily, especially given the amount of obstacles you cleared out on the way there, make your way to K Corp's border. The interior of this border patrol tech checkpoint is almost completely stark white, and you can see the corporation's signature green decorating the signage that is above you all. It's a very oppressive atmosphere, and all around you see these armed guards bolstering the security, keeping people in the lines. They look as if they are ready at any time to deal with someone who steps out of line. And overhead, you can hear the checkpoint announcement in one of those droning, monotone announcer voices that says, "We welcome all visitors to K Corp's nest open-heartedly. Please form an orderly line as you enter and stand where the instructions indicate." And how do you all react to being in the border checkpoint?
Fryer isn't nervous, but his head is on a swivel. He holds himself with the status that he used to, and knows that's often well enough that people leave him alone. And he's thankful for the fact that the nest folk probably won't recognize him. He checks the signage, and he looks to see if there's any clues about where they should be going.
You see the arrows that are pointing you toward one of the lines. It looks like the line is moving fairly quickly. It's for people that have their visas and IDs. It doesn't seem like it should take too long to go through. You do notice there are other lines that seem to be taking much longer. But you all, thankfully...
Asylum systems, seekers, anyone without Nest ID. Yeah, that sounds about right. Paradise for thee and not for me. Alright then. Come on, managers. Let's sign up here.
I think Maru will. He's been taking in the whole scene. It is a little overwhelming to him. Because he's realizing this is going to be the first time, not really counting when he first went to the L Corp facility, because he really wasn't getting to be in the nest, but it's kind of hitting him now that he's actually going to a nest for the first time. But he sees the other very long line of people who feel a bit more like himself. And he's almost like, as he listens to what Pryor says, but he kind of is almost like scanning that long line of people, almost as if he's kind of looking to see, like, it's like a super long shot, but he's just out of instinct, just looking to see, almost like he's hoping that he sees someone. But for the others, it's probably kind of hard to tell what exactly he's doing, because he has put back on his mask and Justicia, so you can't really see his face anymore.
Among the sea of faces, there isn't anyone who stands out to you. You all also would notice that you can't hear what's happening behind that glass wall in the more crowded area, and it's hard to tell exactly what's going on. But you see every once in a while someone, their hands cuffed, being dragged away. You can see that there are people who look scared and confused. And you notice that while the guards on your side of the glass seem to be more amicable to the people around them, the guards over there aren't hesitating at the slightest, like, somebody seems a bit nervous or someone seems a bit, like, stressed, to start prodding with their weapons and getting more violent than perhaps they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something that Kai notices, but I don't think that he'll make any comments on it for fear of the guards drawing their attention to him, because they are all trying to enter this border with fake IDs or stolen IDs.
Pryor's jaw is locked, and his eyes have not left that glass. His footsteps have moved, but it looks like there are weights chained to Pryor's ankle, and his eyes are just locked on the occasional scenes of brutality he is physically separated from intervening from.
Nothing Mix hasn't seen before.
That's right. Of all of you, actually, Kai's probably been through a border checkpoint before, but I don't. Actually, now that I think about it, only Maru probably has not been through a border checkpoint. Yeah, it's... As your eyes are locked on Pryor, you do, for a moment, make eye contact with one of the people being dragged away. You can see it looks like they're being torn from a family member of theirs, and you see the blood dripping down their face from where one of the guards' batons has smacked into them.
Oh, fuck. Pryor steps towards the glass, and his hand reaches out to touch it, and he hesitates at the last moment, pulling his hand into a fist and biting down on his knuckle hard enough that a little bit of blood begins to run down the back of his hand. Senseless.
Just ignore it.
have you all. The announcement continues to play. We welcome all visitors to K Corp's nest open-heartedly. Please form an orderly line as you enter and stand where the instructions indicate.
It's clear Pryor's face is beginning to twist, and he wants to lash out, but he just bites down harder and keeps walking.
And you all make it toward the front of the checkpoint. You see there one of the K Corp officials. Their visor completely blocks their face, and all of their skin is covered by the uniform. They're almost not human. You know there's a human under that uniform. But the way in which they're standing and the fact they're completely covered is...
disconcerting.
Very disconcerting. And as they see the four of you, they say, please state your affiliation and purpose of visit.
Mercenary company, the managers, here's our IDs.
The checkpoint official takes the IDs, looks them over. You can tell you're all dressed very strange, but then again, this is the city. So they just look them over, they nod and say, all checked out. Next. And wave for all of you to go through.
Pryor's feet lock to the ground, and you can feel the urge to say, oh, that's it? Like, rise up within him. And it's every bit of willpower he has to turn that into a toothy smile and turn and just step with heavy footfalls back to watching through the glass. Oh, actually, I think the glass is done because we're on the other side. He just sort of looks to the left, sees a wall, and probably his own reflection in the edge of a trash can, and he just turns away and folds his arms over each other.
And you're all able to exit the checkpoint and enter into the district proper.
It's all bullshit. Every ounce of it is bullshit. That's why I never fucked with the nests. We're not the birds. We're the fucking worms left for them to eat.
Nothing we can do about it now, so...
There's something. But I didn't do it, so I guess... it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Let's get moving.
Fine. Lead the way, Mix. You know how to move through the city. I don't.
Alright. Well, where do we want to head to first? Got a whole lot of options.
I mean, it'd probably make the most sense to square away the transportation issue.
Sure thing. Car dealership we go, my favorite. Whoa!
Yes.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you've all entered into K Corp. You see the bustling streets. There are so many people here, and unlike the quote-unquote nest you just came from, everyone here looks like they're... Well, I don't know if all their faces look like they're happy, but they at least all look unharmed and not like they're on the verge of starvation. There's no one in the streets currently trying to kill each other. And you see all the glowing advertisements everywhere. Compared to L Corp's nest, which was dead, which had corpses everywhere, where all the signage and buildings were broken down, everything here looks very new, improved, updated.
Mm-hmm.
Prior takes a cloak out of his bag and he drapes it over his shoulders and does it up. While a lot of everyone else's ego gear can get away with being very fancy looking clothes, he does have to cover up the giant eye in the middle of his ego. And, you know, the crown of thorns isn't a great look, so Prior, as he sort of does himself up, does say, I agree. Once we get the transportation, I might spend some time doing some preparatory research if you all want to go out for supplies afterwards.
Sounds good. When we talk to the guy, though, let me do the talking, because,
I had very little want nor plans to speak.
Cool.
Alright, so you all head to a transportation center to get the RV.
Yeah, should I do a roll for this, or how does...
I would say you'll be able to buy the RV regardless. It would cost your 2. So basically, how the resource dots work that are temporary resources is that you use them and then I believe you get them back over time. So you would not get them back until the next arc begins. So that would be your resources for this arc. I would say an RV, especially considering like prices, would be free resource dots. Just like a combination of free, so it could be your 2 with a temporary one. Oh, yes,
And
were you going to say something there?
It could be interesting if Mix has to roll to see if they can coerce the car salesman into giving us a deal.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Look
Yes.
at this lady. She doesn't work. Her AC is shot. You're trying to sell it to me for this much? You're crazy. What's happened to Bob's dealerships? You've really gone downhill. Come on.
The poor car salesman that started 2 weeks ago shaking in his boots.
Actually.
Fuck
So,
no.
yeah.
If it's a car salesman, hell no.
Oh yeah, no,
too
feel
bad.
free. But...
No, that one's like, no, in fact, he's probably pushing back like, no, what are you talking about? Completely brand new, just has a minor scratch, massive gash on the freaking dashboard.
Yes, I will say absolutely. If you want to roll a charisma persuasion or a manipulation persuasion, or if the RVs actually, it depends
Manipulation.
on if Mix is trying to manipulate them.
Oh.
I'm
I'll
gonna
say-
manipulate.
Wait, you said manipulation, persuasion?
Yes.
Can I help? I have 1 dot of persuasion.
Yeah, you can help.
Nice,
Anyone
and
who
I
wants
helped
to
too. I
help
was
can
like,
help.
I've got a couple dots of persuasion and manipulation, but yeah, whatever.
I'm saying
We're so
manipulation
bad.
persuasion instead of manipulation subterfuge because I feel like you're not fully lying, but you're also exaggerating things.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
It's less subterfuge and more persuading them to lower the price while also manipulating them.
Like, look, if you try to sell me like this, I'm gonna go around town. I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna make a post on, not twitter.com.
Blob book or whatever the hell.
All right, what's the up?
I would say it's a DC free, and how many of you are assisting with this roll?
Is Pryor gonna help, or can he help in the first place?
Well, Prior can help, but Mix also told him to keep his mouth shut. So if Mix wants Prior to go around and be the stern guy who occasionally backs up Mix, he will be.
I mean, I guess in that case, then we're good. I don't think Mix would be like, yap it up. I think Mix is worried that Pryor's a little too shook up and he needs some time to cool down, so.
So me and Maru are helping you.
Yeah,
Yep,
so that's
so we're
8
helping.
dice. We did it.
All right. So in that case, the salesman will say, fine, I can't lower it by much, but
Oh, come on. What do you mean you can't lower it by much? Look at it. Look at it. The tires are old. They're 3-year-old tires. All right, what they could pop in literally any point. I have to get them replaced. I have to get new windshield wipers because those things don't even work. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want, like, I want to pay like bottom dollar, but like the fact that you're trying to charge me that much, that's an arm and a leg for that thing. No way. And I gotta say, like, even the fact that I have to get new headlights, like, come on.
And the dealership
And don't think I don't see the fact that you're trying to pile on a whole bunch of insurance crap and all that on this, because I'm not trying to deal with that or pay for that. All right?
Listen. They pause like they're not sure how they should address you, and they just say,
"You can call me sir."
Listen, sir. And they say, listen, the final price is, and they list out an amount of on that is equal to 2 resources. Take it or leave it. I can't drop it lower than that.
No, that's fine. I'll take that. Thankfully, once you take off all the useless crap you were trying to charge me for, oh my gosh. All right, where do I sign?
They give you the paper, and they look very eager to have you sign and leave their store.
All right. Hand me the keys. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
Same to you.
All right, I'd say that was pretty successful. Got a new RV.
And you do have the RV now. You know that this will probably only be able to be taken going between districts and on the highways, but it serves as a safe place for all of you to camp out.
Wahoo.
Wahoo, Team Wahoo.
And you can, this is a joke, you can add a 1-dot enemy car salesman.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Mick surviving till the very end of the store, and then the car salesman comes from nowhere and stabs them through the back.
No, the car salesman is like our version of Hell's Chicken, where they distort.
Yeah! Hell's Chicken, but it's a car salesman. Alright, so you've got...
I will say that's true for anybody trying to buy a car, that is, like, they will try to add on so much useless crap.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I only ever buy secondhand from like Facebook Marketplace because of that.
But yes, you've all got in the RV, and now I believe does Pryor decide to stay in the RV while the rest of you decide to go grocery shopping?
Yeah, Pryor will, as soon as we have ownership of the RV, will say, all right, I'm going to do some repairs, tune it up, see if I can do any internal work, and while I'm there, I actually...
Oh, don't worry, half of the crap I made up.
In that case, then I have some research I need to do anyway.
No, I mean, there's still stuff you can, like, do up. Like, the windshield wipers do need fixing, but, like,
right,
you don't have to worry about it too much.
In that case, then, Kai, could I take one of those ampules off of you?
Absolutely. Kai will hand it over. Kai's chill with giving Pryor whatever he wants.
Pryor will take it gently and say, I know these are rare resources, but we are in their homeland. And I admit, I've never had the opportunity to see what these things are really made of. They were too valuable to deconstruct. But I have a feeling this knowledge might just prove useful to us.
Alright. Hey, Pryor.
Yes, Mix.
Try to, chin up a little bit.
I understand you mean well, Mix, but when my chin is up, I can't see what's happening around me.
I know,
I can't
but...
see it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I know, but we need you at 100% for our sakes too. Just take care of yourself, okay?
I will not allow my inability to help everyone harm my ability to help you four. You three. Four counting Ange.
Alright.
Briar nods his head and awkwardly steps into the RV and slams the door shut behind him.
Well, looks like the three of us are on shopping duty. I would love to go to fun places, but considering we're kind of on a budget, we'll probably have to go to cheaper markets. Normally, I'd suggest getting phones, but considering the state of surveillance around here, I don't think it'd be smart, even if it is for communication.
I wouldn't have to get a phone if someone would give me back my tablet.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah,
you know
I
who's
wonder.
talking about, Guy?
I.
Choose your words carefully. Just because I wasn't mad at you before doesn't mean I won't become mad at you.
Oh, he doesn't mean it.
Don't speak for me. Yes, Kai?
Oh, come on. Don't pressure him like that. Besides.
I will do what
this
I
is. This is between. It's your
My tablet, yes.
your business.
Yada, yada, yada. All right, let's get going. Speaking of which, maybe we can even pick up some CDs, which Kai, you're good at choosing out stuff, right? For music, maybe we can do some karaoke. I actually
Wait.
mean that this time.
Do we really have a budget for CDs?
Yeah. CDs nuts.
What is that? What?
It's a joke. Don't worry about it. We can talk about it later.
Okay, I didn't laugh, so.
Let's get going. Come on.
Okay.
Mix is super energetic right now. They are finally back in a place that isn't the horrors, you know? They are as happy as can be. Again, still really weird considering how they were breaking down yesterday, but they're doing well. So
Yeah, I think as they head to the market, Maru will kind of take hold of the sleeve of Kai's jacket and kind of almost to get him to lean his head down. And he'll be like, "You see it too, right? They're weird right now."
I think that they're better.
But that's weird, right?
Yeah, but also, I'm kind of just riding with it right now because they did do pretty well at the car dealership. If it becomes an issue, we'll figure it out. If you want to talk to them, you can. Or if you want me to talk to them, I can try.
No, I can try. One second.
guys,
Yes?
well, I was
What?
saying there's this album I really like. Have you heard of String Theocracy? It's a really good song. I was thinking we could use that for car karaoke. And I know we're heading over to the food market, but it's what's up?
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. It depends. My issues that I would say would be different from the issues that you think. So.
Huh? I don't know what that means. You're acting normal. It's weird.
Huh?
You're acting normal. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm acting normal, and that's weird. That's a paradox, I feel.
No.
We can talk about it later. Besides, we should probably go quickly. Yeah, sure. Can I just... Yeah, I'd like to buy this album. Yeah. Awesome. By Millie? I don't know who that is, but they sound awesome. Alright, thank you. Alright, let's head out.
Okay.
As you're all heading out of the stores and heading to another one, you all almost bump into a woman in the crowd.
Oh?
Oh,
Ooh. No, go ahead.
yeah, no, the streets are crowded. That was her. She makes like a surprised noise when she notices she like bumped into all of you, and she's like, "Oh, sorry about that."
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry. We should have looked where we're going, and like, if she fell down, like Mix will help her get up.
She gives Mix a smile when Mix helps her up. You all notice this woman. She looks to be in her late 20s, early 30s. She has short brown hair that's done up in these two like little ears or like buns almost. And she has bags under her eyes, and she kind of brushes off her clothes and she says, sorry about that. And the moment that she lays eyes on, first she sees Kai, and Kai, do you want to give me a DC4 Wits Insight check?
All right.
She falls in love with Kai at first sight.
Well,
I mean, who can
many,
blame her?
No.
many do. This
That's
does happen
true.
a lot.
Naturally.
DC4, you said.
Yep.
Can I willpower?
Do you want a willpower?
Yeah. Please. Please. Fuck.
No.
You can't tell why this woman's face seems to pale when she sees you. But then she smiles, and the smile looks to be genuine. And then, Maru, her eyes flicker to you. This time, I won't ask any of you to roll a Wits Insight because she's not able to hide the look on her face at the sight of Maru. It's clear that she is overcome by a variety of emotions. You know what? Actually, I'll ask you all who want to roll Wits Insight to tangle out what the emotions are, because it looks like there is a mixture of emotions.
What's the DC?
DC 3 for this one.
Well,
Alright, I will
have 3, I
roll.
might as well.
Same.
LMAO.
I'm really tempted to use desperation dice, but I probably shouldn't. I didn't need to.
Hey! When she looks to Maru, Maru, you're not sure what that expression is. You know that she's clearly overcome by the sight of you. Mix. You recognize there is a mix on her face. A mix of expressions on her face. She looks surprised. She looks concerned. And she looks almost happy. And she looks between all of you and just says, I probably...
You alright?
Oh, yes, no, I'm all good.
Well, that's wonderful. Actually, if you don't mind, I'm not so familiar with this place. Do you know the direction towards where the food markets are?
I was just coming from there. They're over this way. She kind of gestures towards where she was walking from, the sliding doors that she came out of.
Awesome. Well, I'm so thankful for that. I'm so sorry about bumping into you.
No, it's all right. I should have paid more attention. She looks to Maru again, and she just goes, Are you Do you know Vienna? So
Maru-
sorry, it's probably a
Maru-
stupid question, but
Maru, like, even without being able to see his face, like, you can just see the way that he, like, it's like his blood goes cold at that, and he just goes, Vienna?
if you don't,
How do you know Vienna? Who
I
are
mean,
you?
Me? You can call me. I'm Rennie.
Well, that's wonderful, but we're actually.
How do you know Vienna? And he, like, gets, like, really up, like, in her face. Like, how do you know her?
She's an old friend of mine.
Friend?
Yeah, from back in District 23.
I think that's enough. We're kind of busy.
Give me a second. You're friends?
Well, I mean, it's been a little while since I've seen her, but...
Oh, how... And he kind of starts to deflate a little at that. He goes, how long is a little while?
I mean, it's been about a year or so.
A year. Was she... did you see her in District 23?
Yeah, no, she's... she's... Rennie stops at this and hesitates, and then says, she's doing well. Do you all want to roll what's insight against DC4?
Or, well, I can't succeed that. Well, I could if I use
crit.
desperation dice.
You could crit.
I can't... I'm not even adding insight to these, because I don't have any insight.
I can
That's
try.
crazy.
Let's see.
Well, I use desperation dice here. Do I?
LMAO.
That's really
I find crit would have
tempting.
been great. Actually, I'm gonna use a point of willpower.
Is it worth it, guys? Is it worth it, gang?
You said DC 4.
It's
Yeah.
up to you if you decide.
'Cause I'm only
to.
rolling 3, so I'd have to crit.
Man. I tried.
I mean, you know, if you think it's a desperate.
Do
enough
we think it's
situation.
worth it, or do we think
Mm.
it's not really?
Well, probably not.
Probably not? Okay. I think that's... Yeah, I agree with that.
Oh,
I will
man.
not.
Wait,
Oh,
can
willpower?
Yeah, I was like, can
Ooh.
I'm gonna try. Ready, please, with a cherry on top. Okay.
Oh my
Ooh.
god, you did it!
Go pie.
Just barely. I used all my crits last game.
Does Mix want to roll too? Or if
No.
not, I can just roll.
I don't think I will, because otherwise I'd need a crit. And I'm
Alright.
not confident in my chances.
Alright, in that case, she speaks with more confidence and says, yeah, she's doing well. Maru, it does not seem like this woman is lying. It seems like she means it when she says that Vienna is doing well. Kai, with your success, this woman is not lying out of malice, but is clearly lying because she doesn't want to make Maru... She's worried about Maru's reaction. She's not lying, it seems, about Vienna being alive, but she does seem to be lying about Vienna doing well and being okay.
Well, Maru, thinking that she's telling the truth, he kind of relaxes a little and audibly lets out a sigh of relief, and he goes, "Oh, okay. I didn't even realize she was okay." And he kind of looks a little lost now, like he doesn't really know what to do now. He was definitely not expecting that bomb to be dropped on him. But yeah, he kind of just, he loses all of that, like, desperate, like, aggression, and has kind of gone back to his relatively quiet self.
She kind of just gives him a soft smile and is like, you look a lot like her.
Yeah. No, I mean, you would look a lot like your family, so, usually. I'm glad she's doing well.
I think at this point, makes like while they're talking, makes whispers to Kai like he had it. Do you know about this?
Does Kai know about that? I don't know that Kai knows that Maru has a sister. I don't think they've really talked that much.
No, Maru's never spoken a word about his family.
Yeah.
I don't think Maru ever told any of me
Okay,
that I
okay.
was his sister.
No, but like, she's from District 23, and she did look at me kind of weird, so maybe I just don't remember her face. I
don't
didn't know
know.
about Mary's sister.
Getting good vibes from her, or
She seems sweet. I don't think she means any harm.
fair enough. I trust you on that then. And then Mick sort of clears their throat and says, "Well, considering you guys have some history, what'd you say your name was?"
Mine? Oh, it's Rennie. And I'll let you all know now that is not a name any of you recognize.
Yeah. Well, Rennie, it was very nice to meet you, but we really do have to get going.
Oh,
It's nice to meet you. I'm sorry. It was probably rude of us.
no. I should get going too. She does look to Mara real quick as she heard him make a noise, and she looks curious as if he had something to say.
I know you said you haven't seen her in a while. If you somehow do talk to her again, can you? I don't even know what to tell. I'd want you to say to her. Can you just tell her that I'm alive?
She nods and says, I can do that. I know she's been really worried about you. I mean, I've never met you before, but she's mentioned you before to me, and
He has?
she nods.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
I knew Vienna had a little brother. I just never expected to meet him.
Yeah.
And her
Okay.
eyes flit again to Kai. And with the 4 success from before, I'll give you, there's a hint of concern in them, but she also looks the tiniest bit relieved, although you all notice her eyes are kind of scanning around the 3 of you, almost as if searching for something she expects to jump out of the shadows.
Well then, we'll be off.
Kai, it will follow everyone else's lead, but if they're leaving Rennie, he'll definitely look back at her, thoughtfully wondering if he knows her or what she could possibly be so worried about seeing. And also, he knows that she was lying about Vienna being okay, but he's not gonna tell Maru that because she clearly had good intentions to lie for.
Yeah, as they walk away, Mix kindly, gently, they say, "I'm happy for you, Maru. I just think we have to be careful."
Yeah. And Maru, he's kind of like clearly like kind of closed in on himself for a little while as they start to walk, but then he shakes his head almost as if he's like ridding his mind of certain thoughts, and then takes a deep breath and goes, "Yeah, no, that's we have a job to do, so let's get to getting our
Yeah.
stuff.
It's another thing we can look forward to. It's always nice to have a sibling who cares for you. Well then,
Yeah.
let's go shopping.
And
Yeah.
you all enter into the store. I will say, as you're entering into the store to go get food, you all see a newspaper. And it has the date of July 985 on it. You all know that it is supposed to be the year 982.
Are we down there longer than I thought?
I don't know.
I mean, is it plausible for us to have at least the idea that maybe time's a little messed up because Ange can pause it within the facility? Not that we know that the final week was actually whatever amount of time, but that we might have a different.
Yes, you have an idea that perhaps because of Ange and Nick's freezing time and time being messed with in the facility, before you had confirmation from someone you met on the streets who could have been wrong, but you're seeing here right now, the date most definitely is 3 years have passed on the surface, while you were all thinking only a week had.
I guess time just moved a little bit differently for all of us. I mean, it's not like that much could have changed in the 5 years versus 2 years that you thought you were gone, right?
I mean, things can change rapidly in a matter of months.
I think we'll manage to adapt.
It'll be fine. Anyways, let's just grab some food and supplies and get back to Pryor.
Right, we shouldn't waste too much time.
Hey, is there anything in the store you all want to grab, that you want to buy?
Yes.
You know, foods, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like a bunch of non-perishables. Like we're talking dried beans. We're talking
Okay, we're talking flour.
canned goods. Yeah, we're talking flour. We're talking rice. We're talking
But cheap stuff, the
Yeah.
Great Value brand.
Yeah. We're even talking a little bit of instant coffee.
Whoa.
Not that
Instant
Maru's gonna have any, but
coffee.
he has an idea that maybe that'll save some stress
Fruits
in the
and
morning.
vegetables,
You know,
dried
Yeah.
fruits.
Mix has been raised in a nest, so they might suggest, I don't know, seasoning.
Oh no, they would 100%.
Why
They're
do we need
grabbing
seasoning?
salt and peppers and stuff like that.
Well, outside of salt and pepper.
Yeah,
Maru already grabbed. He stole the
absolutely
salt and pepper
outside. But also
he already grabbed that.
that's real. Stuff like chili,
Chili?
stuff like oregano.
Oregano. Maru's looking at Mix like what?
Basil, thyme, cinnamon,
I said necessities.
paprika. That's a classic.
No, that's not a necessity. That might be a classic, not a classic necessity.
Yeah, it's my money.
No, Maru, I understand the need for basics, but I also do think that the mind can benefit just a little, even if it's the same meal, but if we season it differently, it'll taste different, and it won't have that
But then,
numbing
Garlic
effect at eating the
powder,
same thing over and over
cayenne.
again.
that's just
Onion powder.
Do we need that much seasoning?
Always
It'll
nice to
last
have
a long time.
Okay, this is gonna one seasoning, not that
red
much.
pepper flakes.
All of this adds up, right? And then you have to keep replacing
Coriander.
it because you're gonna get used to. You're gonna get used to seasoned things that are nicer and taste nicer, and then when we suddenly have no money and we can't buy that, it's going to make the food we can make worse.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm buying it. And I'll buy it for myself then.
Okay.
It's gonna be fine. It'll be good. Besides, if I really wanted to indulge in stuff, I'd be getting snacks and the like, but we don't need those.
Okay, do it. Do what you want.
Look, I'm not trying. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. Just,
Just selfish. I get it.
No, I just, I think it'll help. I think it'll be good for morale.
I said do what you want.
Okay. Is there anything that you were thinking of getting, Kai? Any ideas?
I'm wondering if Kai has like a favorite thing to eat. Well, meat isn't perishable, so I think Kai is okay. I think Kai will just grab whatever Maru tells him to grab, and he'll carry the big heavy rice bag because Maru is only so little and small.
Maru can carry a rice bag.
No, but he's so small. Kai would feel bad. He'll be like, "Oh my gosh, let me carry that."
I mean, Maru won't say no. Maru will let him, but
Mm-hmm.
And they go to the cashier, check everything out, head out.
And I would say, did you all decide? So Mix decided to get all the special stuff, right? Like the special spices and things.
Yeah.
All right, so it'd be 1 temporary resource dot so basically in total, with the car and then with these, you've all spent a total of 4 resource dots. So it's up to you all whose dots were being spent. But of the temporary ones, I presume for the groceries, it'd be 1 resource dot for all of those groceries, and then a second one for all the special groceries.
I'll spend a temporary, which means all my resources have been tapped for the arc until I get my 2 back.
Yep. And does Maru or Kai pay for the groceries in this instance?
I mean, Maru's planning on paying for it.
Maru's planning on paying for it, but Kai feels bad that Maru got mad at us in the store.
Does Kai give the money before Maru can? Give the on
Yes.
before Maru can?
Yes, Kai's the kind of person to. I mean, I doubt credit cards are like how things work in this universe because we all have cash on a person. But like, when you're like at a restaurant and your friend just like shoves the credit card in front of yours to the cashier, like that's what I'm doing to Maru.
All right, so yeah,
Maru lets that happen, but he's a little stiff. He doesn't say anything though.
Got some food, got some CDs, got a whole bunch of stuff. I think we're all pretty stocked up. It'd be nice if we could get a couple changes of clothes, but not this time around, huh?
I think we're fine.
Would it be crazy to get to go to a different store and just get like the most basic necessities in terms of things to eat off of, or did we steal the plates and bowls from?
Oh, the RV came with a package.
Oh, okay.
Maru also did take a few things from the apartment.
Fantastic. Okay. Yippee!
Yeah, it comes with a couple of things. It has a kitchen too, so we don't have to buy any crazy stuff. I also managed to get them to give us, full tank of gas for the actual RV and some actual good old fuel for the stove top.
Mm-hmm.
So,
In terms of supplies, you're all set.
I just wish we had a change of clothes. I mean, we have a couple, but oh well. I guess we can get new blankets and pillows and stuff later.
That's a good point. We probably just have like bare bones mattresses inside of the RV right now.
Yeah, it's not
Does it
great,
really-
but
does it really matter?
well, I think it would help us. Like I said, it's about keeping us mentally healthy. I don't want us to go crazy out there.
I mean, if you go crazy because you have to sleep on a mattress that doesn't have like fluffers on it, that sounds like a you problem.
Well, I'm just
Would you
saying.
rather sleep on the floor? Like,
Well, look, if it at least look, my thing is that I know we got some blankets from the apartment, but I mean those things aren't great quality. So,
who cares? It's not that big of a deal.
well, I'm just saying I want us all to be okay. Besides, look on the bright side. You're gonna be able to cook all the meals in a nice little stove top, and it'll be fun. The RV's nice, right, Kai?
Yeah.
Plus, we can do pool karaoke.
Yeah. I'm glad that wasn't as horrible an idea as I thought it was before.
No, it wasn't. I think we were just all
Timing.
tired.
Yeah, timing wasn't right. Thanks though. I appreciate. I do appreciate you bringing it back up.
Of course. Sorry about my whole spiel, I guess, behavior when we were in the back streets. A little embarrassing now I think about it, but
I mean, as long
I'm
as it
better
doesn't
now.
happen again, that's what matters.
it won't. It won't, I promise.
Uh-huh.
I do.
Okay. We'll see what happens the next time we go back to the back streets.
Maru, did I upset you?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I'm fine. I just thinking about things, that's all. It's fine.
Okay. Is it about your sister?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Sorry. Alright then, let's head back.
Great. And if you're all heading back, we'll cut then, before you all make it back there, to Pryor in the RV.
Yes. He's done his best. Obviously, he's drawn all the windows on the RV. He did a brief structural check, just made sure everything was running. And then he got to work very, very privately, attempting to disassemble this healing ampule and figure out what's actually inside of it.
All right. And I'm trying to think what the best role for that would be. I presume something with craft, probably intelligence craft.
I'll take intelligence craft. Let's see what Pryor is capable of doing. Yeah, I think he'll try and use, if you would allow it, his improvised gear here.
Yes, I'll allow that.
I'm trying to think what abnormality gift would potentially help him. You know what? Yes, he is going to pull out a pair of glasses from an all-around helper. Where he's going to attempt to help him inspect these items a little closer. As against difficulty 4, it's a success.
All
So
right.
Pryor will add 2 successes, or 2 dice rather, to his intelligence craft.
Let's go.
This is not L Corp tech, so my specialty would not apply. But I do have my all-around help bonus. And do I have a set difficulty here?
I would say the set difficulty is DC 3. If you hit DC 6, I will give you some additional information.
All right. I'll set the difficulty as 6, and if I hit 3, I hit 3 at least. Ooh, nope. I'm going to spend a point of willpower. Try and see if I can hit at least DC 3. All right, DC 3, not DC 6.
All right. In that case, as you take apart the HP bullet, you find a green fluid that leaks out. If you had to guess, considering you've seen the effects of these bullets before, and you know what they do fairly well, it's the green fluid that must be responsible for the rapid physical regeneration. And
the bullet shell is soft. It's meant to shatter and fragment, which would normally kill, but it's almost like it dissolves, and it delivers the payload, which in this case would be the ampule inside of it, I imagine.
Yes. And that is what you're able to find out regarding them. You're not sure, because the DC 6 was for just what the fluid is, but you can tell whatever this fluid is, it's associated with K Corp, considering they're the ones that made these bullets, and it allows for regeneration.
So that's the secret, huh? This is your much coveted singularity. Green fucking sludge. What secrets do you hold? And he will, since he's already disassembled the bullet, he will place the green fluid inside a containment test tube, and then make sure he keeps it cool, just to preserve the sample. He'll have to do some further tests later, but that's some good information at least. And he didn't destroy the sample, so Pryor will take that at least.
Yes. So yeah, you still have it. It does still function as...
Can't shoot it anymore, but
yeah,
we could probably take it like a shot.
Yeah, you could drink it. You could drink it or just pour it on the wound, so you're still able to use it. It's just not in bullet form like the other ones that Kai has are.
Fascinating. And I'm sure that's when everyone arrives, just in time to startle Pryor.
Yes, I imagine everyone else comes in.
Yeah. Pryor turns around. He's got like the old man glasses, because he's wearing nothing there. He's wearing all around helper's ego gift. And he sort of like adjusts them on his face and goes, I see from the bags of groceries that your mission was successful.
It was indeed.
Good to hear. Research went okay. I've identified the source of the ampule's healing capabilities, but their origin is, as I expected, completely unknown.
And that little test tube that you seem to have, that's what makes us heal?
Yes. Well, actually, there's one more thing I can try. And Pryor will close his eyes and let nothing there stare at it.
Ooh. Let's see. Stare
I
at
would
the
like
sludge.
to... Pryor would like to use Sense the Unnatural.
Oh. Okay. Yes. You can roll me a Sense the Unnatural. I would say for this one it would be, I think DC 4 is a fair difficulty for this.
That is fair by me.
And you hear the...
Hello?
Oh, damn. That's a crit. Okay, so as you stare at this green fluid, you do sense something unnatural from it. What you sense, it's very similar. It's not quite the same, especially because every single one of them has their own unique feeling to them. But it's very similar to an abnormality. It's this feeling of something that isn't from the city. When you stare at this liquid, it's this feeling of something that is almost alive. Mm-hmm.
Prior opens his eyes with a rush and looks at it carefully and goes, "So that's your secret, isn't it, K Corp?" The regenerative serum. Actually, so what does Prior know about what K Corp says about their healing bullets?
Yes, you note that what K Corp claims with their healing bullets is that they are basically able to heal any wounds so long as the brain is intact. You know that is what they claim their singularity is that it revolves around healing and physical regeneration.
Prior.
And
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add, you also know that I believe they were also responsible for the, sanity bullets too. But.
Yeah. Prior sits back with the test tube and goes, "They're utilizing an abnormality, or something similar to one. Maybe it's like that woman. Maybe, just maybe." Maybe there's a lot more to these bullets than we thought there was. Well, sorry, I'm speaking like a madman. That's good information, though. Let's square it away for a later day. Well, I hope your trip went well.
It was interesting. I would say it went well. I'm glad your research went so well.
Oh,
I'm glad that I'm glad that ampule could be of such use to you. Kai isn't sure whether or not to mention that we met someone.
It was rather unremarkable.
Okay.
Right?
Prior nods his head and doesn't question anything more than that. He says, "Well, I suppose we both found something useful.
Exactly.
I trust with everything we have, we can make our way to Cowl next."
Yeah, sounds good.
It's a shame these bullets are so expensive. I'd love to do more experiments. Maybe... one task at a time. Cowl, prosthetics, research. Maybe we can get you a tune-up while we're there. Eh, Maru?
Yeah, maybe.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
I think he was a little tired from all our walking around.
something like that.
Well, in that case, I've made all the beds, gone over the RV, fixed the windshield wipers, replaced a few parts of the engine. Shouldn't be a smoother ride. I believe, Mix, you're still the only one of us who knows how to drive, so if you need to go take a nap.
Is so. A nap? Well, while it does sound nice, I don't mind starting up right now. I'm pretty well rested.
I've heard rumors that being out at night in the nest isn't the same as the back streets. I trust those rumors are correct.
They are. The only thing you gotta worry about on the road is drunks. People falling asleep at the wheel.
I consider that a massive blessing.
Alright. Plus, the hitchhikers this time around won't try to kill us.
That I would be very hesitant to believe.
Not that we'll pick any up. Anyways, get situated, everyone. We're gonna start moving.
Alright,
Um,
and... Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry. Can Kai lean into Mix a little bit?
Yes.
Are we doing the karaoke?
Yeah, we can.
Is that happening right now? Is that happening
Yeah.
tonight? Yeah.
Just don't mention anything about Maru to Pryor.
I won't. I'll sit in the front with you if you want me to. I can stay away from the two of them for a bit. So
I'd
you can
actually rather have somebody keep an eye. But maybe Maru will actually be quiet for right now. I just hope they don't tear each other's throats out. Alright. You get to choose which CD we play first.
Gosh. And how much of a selection did Mix buy?
I mean, I'm assuming
I assume
they
nothing
both
crazy.
grabbed. Yeah, they both grabbed some stuff. You know?
We just went into like a CD store, like a thrifty CD store.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I wish I knew what music genres were like in this universe.
The same, I'm assuming.
The same.
Yeah, I assume they've got a mix of music.
I think it's in character, but out of the vibe that's been curated. If it was Kai's choice first, he would probably play like kind of obnoxious pop music. And he'd be like, Vix, you get to pick the next song. You get to pick whatever's next. Because he's gonna belt that like crazy style.
Oh my god. he's gonna whenever you know the kind of person that like sings and they like do motions and stuff while they do it. And Mix is like, get your hands out of my face! I'm like driving. Yeah. Kai's gonna pick an obnoxious pop track and sing loud as hell in the passenger seat next to Mix, who, Real.
bless their heart, will probably get really annoyed.
Before we end out this session, are there any interactions that people would want to be having on the drive there?
Pryor has a lot of thoughts in his head, but I think he's accomplished everything he needs to. He's got his research, he's got his sights set on Cowl, he knows where they're showing up next time.
I think when Maru saw that Kai took the passenger seat, he was a little like he was kind of expecting to get shotgun again. And so he didn't this time, and he's like kind of just like in his head, he's like, oh, but he doesn't want to sit anywhere near Pryor.
They can trade next time.
In RVs, there's usually like if this is like a typical RV, there's the front and passenger seat, and then there's usually like something that's kind of like a bench almost with like two booths that are like right behind the passenger seat, and then there's the back with the tents and stuff, or not the tents, the beds.
Okay, so what part of the RV is Pryor in?
Pryor's moved to the very, very back of the RV.
Okay, so
He
Merritt
likes
does
to
not
be.
go
He likes
there.
to be on his own.
Where the beds are.
So Meru does not go near the beds. Meru goes to that like middle section, I guess, and kind of just sits there with his knees to his chest like he always does, and intensely stares out the window. But that's all he does.
Pryor is just in the back, staring out the back window. Now, as he's looking out into the road behind them, he's not seeing just the road on the other side of the glass. And there's something eating away inside of him. But he keeps it to himself.
You can feel that crown of thorns on your head almost tighten.
It's all in his head. Just like what's on the other side of the glass. He's sure of it. He's a good person. And he's doing good things. He just has to do more.
Thanks. You're driving ahead towards Cowl.
Think as Mix drives ahead, they think for a moment, and I think there's a little like flashback back to that moment with the poor stranger. Mix is like cradling them in their arms. I'm sorry, I'll help you, okay? I'll help you. Okay. And do they say anything?
You just hear that he saved me. Of the person begging for help.
I will. I'll save you, I'll save you. And they freeze for a moment. And then they draw out what can now be seen as one of the guns from Solemn Lament. And they push the end of the barrel against this person's head and pull the trigger.
And there's butterflies. As you return them back home.
I think we see on the other side of the body is the funeral. And they need to kneel down, take the man in their arms, and take them away. And Mix is left alone. And they're silent. And then they break down crying and screaming, and then we see Mix just driving the RV again.
The city fades to woodlands. As you all reach Cowl,